A brawl among both football teams. A review of the video pinpointed which team member started the whole chaos. Weatherby says the actions are deeply embarrassing and do not reflect the high standards that the coaches place on good sportsmanship within that program. Weatherby issued a public statement on Sunday and then called the athletic director at USA to personally apologize. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A water main break on Christmas Day in Homewood caused some road blockage, as well as demanded that the Birmingham Water Works deal with a problem on the holiday. The water flooding occurred near Homewood Middle School and resulted in water filling up areas of Valley Avenue. And the mayor of Birmingham, Randall Woodfin, is asking for prayers for the family of his chief compliance officer. Jill Matajic died at the age of 58 after a battle with stage 4 lung cancer. Matajic died just 2 days before Christmas. Mayor Woodfin says she had a heart for service and helped build a culture of efficiency, transparency, and accountability within the Birmingham city leadership. Matajic served 6 years at the Birmingham City Hall. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi, this is Sky Mosley for your hometown conservative newspaper, the Alabama Gazette. Published in beautiful downtown Montgomery, serving the river region and central Alabama proper for over 24 years, always under the banner of God, family, and country. You can find the Gazette at many fine business establishments throughout the area and an excellent value for your advertising dollar. The Gazette provides you with a ready-made audience that shares your values, beliefs, and principles. Give them a call, 356-6700. Advertising with the Alabama Gazette is surprisingly affordable and extremely effective. 356-6700, the Alabama Gazette. Honest, informative, trustworthy, your conservative alternative newspaper. Real local news from real local people. The Alabama Gazette, they are most worthy of your support. Pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. 356-6700, give them a call. The Alabama Gazette, the people's paper.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Shut up, silly woman.
If you get a cough, please leave me.
I got hairy legs.
I got worms.
How dare you?
He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
Hey, mister! I
don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. 2023 is almost dead, and I think Eddie and I both agree we would rather be in Jamaica right now.
I don't see why we're not.
Or in Tokyo, even.
Tokyo, I do see
anywhere
Tokyo.
But here, but I think you're discovering, Eddie, that radio is life. It kind of becomes like a marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be hating each other soon enough. Like, we're getting past that honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have that usual thing married couples do that kind of keep them happy.
No.
Nor do we want it.
Appreciate that.
Nor do I want it. But, the world's fine. Everything's fine. Like the Houthis attacking another container ship there in the Red Sea.
Well, and we put something down the other day, too.
Oh, yeah, like more attacks from the U.S. against Houthi rebels and militias in Iraq.
Yep.
Did you see that Ukraine destroyed a Russian warship there at port?
I saw that, too, but I saw a really disturbing video this weekend of a Ukraine ski resort, and it was packed. I mean, packed.
Really?
Not with soldiers, with people that got a lot more money than you and me, Joey.
And, and the Russians took a major town there in the Luhansk or Donetsk.
Because everybody was at the
region.
ski resort, apparently.
Yeah. Microsoft suing, or New York Times suing Microsoft and OpenAI for alleged copyright infringement over their chatbot.
Good Lord.
Your chatbot is plagiarizing us. It's like, it's kind of what it's designed to do.
I thought that's kind of one of the points.
But it plagiarizes everybody, so it plagiarizes nobody, right, guys?
It changes a couple words.
And then the one story over the weekend that caught my attention was an Alabama woman with 2 uteri. I guess that's 2 uterus?
Yeah.
She has not 1 uterus.
But 2.
But 2. 2 uteri and 2 cervixes has given birth to 2 babies after carrying one of them in each uterus.
Yeah. I thought it was an amazing story.
Oh.
I read it on an overseas newscast before I ever saw it here in the States, and it was right here in Alabama. Yeah.
I just hope that isn't like open up some portal to another dimension.
Off-air conversations for you and I.
Anyway, I'm not going to keep this gentleman waiting. We've got Jeff Poor, of course, host of the Jeff Poor Show down at 106.5 FM, the Mobile area, 9 to noon in the mornings. And he's also the editor-in-chief there at 1819 News. Jeff, how you doing this afternoon?
Doing well, Joey. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for being on. Did you happen to catch this woman had 2 uteri and 2 cervixes and gave birth to 2 babies after carrying one of them in each uterus?
I did. I don't really understand all that plumbing discussion, but I will be amazed if you tell me to.
Yeah, well, it's just shocking. Like, I don't know how... Yeah, there's a lot of things I can say. You know what? I'm just going to move on from that.
Good idea. Good idea.
Freaks of nature or something, I don't know. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Here we go.
Well, let's just say all month. She's never happy. All month. That's an odd story. But another one that we're seeing our junior senator push on the Twitter X platform is in North Alabama, a drug task force says 2 men had enough fentanyl to kill essentially the entire population of Madison County.
Oh, wow.
Do you think we got a fentanyl problem here in Alabama?
Yeah, well, I think it's nationwide, but what do you do? Like, how do you stop it? And right now, what the problem is, Joey, I hate to say it, but it's being used too much as like a political wedge, right? So I think when some people hear it, it's just a right wing and they're fear mongering, trying to get us to vote for Republicans or something. We don't really have a fentanyl problem, but we do, and no one's really speaking honestly about it, I guess.
Yeah, and I have to wonder, though, what's the drug of choice in Alabama? Is it fentanyl, or are we more a state of meth heads? Or I'm wondering, because,
Isn't fentanyl, isn't fentanyl just like an ingredient, though, and some of it to make it seem like it's got a little more zing to it?
Sure, it's stretching that soup, so to speak. And then also there's straight up just poisoning, where I ordered meth, not, I didn't want an opioid in my meth. Which is, absurd on its face. But just all the drugs of despair. It seems like, your generation, Jeff, I've talked to Eddie about this. It seems like the drugs are at least about partying. Now they become these drugs of despair.
Drugs of despair, it's like street life. It's are we just like giving up on life as we know it? And I mean, I understand kind of addiction, but I mean, part of it's just a chemical addiction. But then there's just like a lack of hope. Like, well, this is my escape, and nothing's going to get better for me. So what the hell? I will just live this life out on the streets as long as I get my fix. I don't care.
Yeah, and it's just sad. And people wonder, why do people get hooked on drugs? I'm like, well, they work initially, and then they stop working, and then it all becomes, well, your own personal hell. You're welcome. Speaking of, well, maybe my own personal hell, especially if I'm going to start doing your show down there on Goat Hill this next session, what do you expect? How's that for a segue? What do you expect this next upcoming session as we enter into the new year here in Alabama?
I'll tell you what you need to watch, and this will be in 2 weeks. In Senate District 9, there's a special election. Clay Schofield going to work for the BCA, and the governor has a special election. It's about to go down here. But who cares? It's a North Alabama Senate race. But a vote in the state Senate is probably more consequential than a vote, just in whole as it applies to our life in Alabama. More consequential than a member of Congress or a U.S. senator, because there's 50. I mean, there's 100 senators, there's 435 congressmen, but one senator in the state Senate can really move the needle. I mean, there's a lot of concentrated power there in the state Senate, and we're starting to see like some kind of delineation here between the two candidates. What I want to say is this: like the cult of school choice out there. You need this one. You need to watch this one close, because you are actually seeing a kind of a disagreement on policy. Most of what there's two candidates. A guy named Brock Coleman, who's a state lawmaker from Albertville, and then Wes Kitchens, who's a state lawmaker from Arab. And if you don't believe in school choice, if you believe in school choice, I think this is suddenly that is going to be the big distinction on the ballot. Because you're going to need every vote you can get in this 2024 legislative session to get that over the finish line. And if, like, the pro-AEA candidate somehow pulls this off, I mean, that's a feather in their cap. Or if the pro-school choice guy pulls it off, then maybe that's a feather in the pro-school choice's cap. But I think that is, like, one of the big things, whether it's either going to get a hearing on Goat Hill or not. Is going to come down to that. And then we can also do gambling. I think ethics reform, the usual run-of-the-mill stuff. But those are the ones that I kind of have an eye on right now.
Now, on the issue of school choice, correct me if I'm wrong in this, but it seems to me that even the AEA is starting to put out language of, oh, yeah, we're for school choice, too. And I'm a little worried that when Governor Ivey says that stuff, that's what she's saying. Oh, I'm for school choice, sugar. Ain't that right, missy? But it's more that AEA type of school choice. And is there going to be that sort of poison-pilled presentation of the idea?
But the thing about the Ivey's pledge, she's very specific. She said ESAs, Education Savings Accounts. I mean, that's a specific policy. Now, I would be concerned more if she hadn't said that, because then it could just be charter schools or whatever. But, look, I am not a pro-school choice sycophant here at all.
Right.
I'm very skeptical of, school choice as a policy. But this is what people want. Then the legislature needs to respect that, and they need to act accordingly. But, I mean, clearly there's something telling them, some people in Montgomery, maybe not everybody, that you need to be on board. Will Ainsworth is really banging that drum because he's running for governor. So there's something you definitely should read into there. Well, then we kind of watch what the teachers union is like. Maybe they're going to try to drag this out, delay it a little bit. Maybe it'll go away. But what the heck? This is what we got to do.
Well, and we might as well start the arguments we're going to hear next year. I love the idea of ESAs. I didn't know the governor said that specifically. I think it's a good way to go. But what are some of your concerns about school choice, in particular, that approach?
Well, so, I mean, this is just philosophical for me, but, I grew up in public schools in Alabama. I mean, they're not great. But, my parents worked hard to get us in a good school system, or were able to live in a good school system. And then, this thing that, your zip code should determine your education outcome. Well, what about those of us who pay more in property taxes, who really work hard to build a good community, so it has good community schools, good public schools, and like now you're telling me that none of that matters. And if a child here wants to go to school here, given the right dollar amount or whatever, they can. Or it's also this, like, I'm happy with my schools, and if we really, the way some education funding works is based on your enrollment, right?
Right.
Well, if you put another player in the marketplace, a private school, does that take away money from your public school system? And then lastly, another concern, what if you were in a private school? What if you put your child in a private school? And this is sort of like the Obamacare comparison. All of a sudden, all this government money, or taxpayer money, I should say, comes into the private school economy. Is that going to make your tuition go up if you are a parent who has a child enrolled in a private school? Because suddenly demand for that private school is going to increase. I mean, isn't there just a straight-up economic law of economics thing there that says, okay, well, now we're going to have to expand these private schools. It's going to cost money. It's going to be harder to get into. It's going to cost more. I already got my kid. I'm happy with my schooling. This is going to impact it. I don't see how it does it. So there's a bunch of things here where we are applying like this government, big one-size-fits-all government solution. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not like a anti-school choice or pro-school choice. If people want it, then we should have it. But I do think it's not this magic, like, silver bullet that's going to fix everything.
Well, I agree with you there that it's not a magic silver bullet by any means. And I hear your concerns about especially the public schools and those districts that have been doing quite well, and people don't want to mess with that success. And I really do see there can be a clear difference between, say, your big cities, if we can call them that, here in the state of Alabama, and more rural Alabama or suburban Alabama. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy to see that Ainsworth and Ivy are heading in this direction, because it does seem to be where the party's going. The biggest attraction to me is getting rid of the one-size-fits-all administrative style that comes from the central office. I would prefer a different experiment, so to speak.
I agree with a lot of people that if we have some competition in the marketplace, then maybe that inspires some kind of changes in the old status quo. But look, if we're going to do real school choice, and they're going to do this, they're going to say, hey, look, you make too much money to participate in this ESA program or whatever, because what if they add some kind of income threshold to it? Well, I put my kids through school in private school, and now my tuition's going to go up because of what the state of Alabama is doing, because just the simple laws of economics. Is that right? Is that fair? I have a lot of questions about this. What are we getting out of this? Now, I don't have a kid in private school or anything. I mean, but I hate to sound that way, but I just think sometimes it sounds to me like an Obamacare sort of public education response.
No, I hear you. Yeah, let's do public financing with a so-called private market. I hear the critique. I certainly do. I mean, I think in my ideal world, we kind of go full-on private. And if you're going to have a public school, it needs to be extremely local. I really
let me... I can respond to that.
Sure.
Like, we decided a long time ago as a society that you must have some kind of minimal, like, education, right?
Right.
So for a functioning economy, for a functioning society, you need to have people who could read, write, add, subtract, etc. So, like, I get the sense that we need public schools, that the government has a role in public education, and we made that deal a long time ago. So we got to have public schools. But it's when I decide to go do it my own way because I don't think the schools are doing a good job. Here's the way our school choice ought to work. I am taking that burden away from the state. I am saying my child is going to private school or going to some other school. You need to reimburse me for taking that burden off of you, and maybe you see it in your income taxes or something, that money's refunded to you because you're no longer paying into the system, or you're no longer a burden into the system despite paying into it. Now you have people who say, well, I don't have kids. Why should I pay into it? Well, like I said, we made a deal a long, long time ago. We said we need public schools in America. We have public schools in America for just reasons to sustain a quality of life that we like in America. So everybody has to pay into the system. But if your burden, your personal child, your burden is taken away from the system, then maybe you should get something back if you go and do it on your own.
Well, that seems fair to me. And I mean, and I'm sure you know the arguments that the public school systems in a lot of ways aren't these great local public schools that were started many moons ago. It's almost like every association, every school board, how the curriculum's drawn up, it's become vertically integrated where it's more of a national product by a few. And it seems to me if the government's going to be the one setting the curriculum and what your kids are taught, that base level, as you say, it isn't going to just be reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's also going to be like, here's how the government is so great, and you need the government to do all sorts of things.
Right.
And here's this particular version of history. And I think we're seeing the rotten fruit of that. Just look at the outcomes. Like the basic competency of a student you would hope comes from school isn't there, and yet kids believe all these wacky things these days.
But is that license just to burn it all down or whatever and go all full on private? I don't think so. I mean, there's just structural things you got to fix. But you're right. We have gotten far, far away from teaching, just basic skills of human existence right. to this indoctrination for political purposes. And that's where the problem lies. I don't know that a school choice system or just tear down the whole public school system and start all over again. I mean, can you tweak it? Maybe we're too far gone.
Yeah, and I mean, part of what I get frustrated with this state in particular is it seems pretty clear to me that the point of public education in Alabama, maybe not what's on the cover, it's not what's sold, but it seems more a political machine and political piggy bank. It has been for years, maybe not as strong as it used to be, that it is really about educating kids at the end of the day. It's kind of a full employment for certain groups and also a great cash cow to use when it comes time for elections. And I think if that's the function, no wonder the outcome for kids in actual teaching isn't great.
Yeah, and that's, they said these are just the structural problems, kids. And they were supposed to have corrected these in 2010 when they took over, right?
Right.
But they were going to build this ironclad wall between the political system and the education system, and then slowly but surely it sort of has eroded and whittled its way down. And here we are again. We're talking about a Senate race in North Alabama where it looks like the teachers union is back in the middle, back in the fold.
Well, and it's funny, not to say too much, but Mr. Asbell is now my next door neighbor where I'm living. So I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of conversations with him about the past and what's going on in the future. But Jeff, we're out of time.
I need to come real quick. I need to come over there and check out his little man cave. He has a little Alabama political history museum.
Oh, it's amazing. He really is. Good dude, good neighbor. But if folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so, Jeff?
Twitter.com/Jeff_Poor. It's all there.
Well, I appreciate it. We'll talk again next week. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Again, Jeff Poor, editor-in-chief there at 1819 News, also host of the Jeff Poor Show. How you doing, Eddie?
I'm all right. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. I guess we got folks wanting to jump on and talk this issue.
Yep.
Let's go to David. Hey, David.
Hey, good afternoon. I wish Jeff hadn't left. Kind of a little bit of sense out of Jeff saying, the districts like Homewood, you pick others in the state, they're paying high employer taxes way in excess of the state minimums. Where do you think all these charters are going to go and the schools are going to go? They're going to go where the local support is and snatch all that money. And why in the world does the state of Alabama decide it's okay when it requires a vote of the people to form a public education system and to increase ad valorem? And now you're going to have a legislative body take that away and take the money like they did with the Accountability Act and like they're going to do with the Savings Act and whatever else is coming next. A lot of this is, to me, is unconstitutional.
Well, that's an interesting legal question I hadn't thought of. So, and I don't know. I wouldn't know the answer to that, know what the arguments would even be there necessarily in the actual case of the law in Alabama's Constitution. I'll say I am a school choice proponent because I think the current system is not working. But to your point, if you're going to do away with that or change that, it has to be done in a legal manner. And I see where you're coming from, that if you set up this whole structure of taxes, especially at the local level, and all of a sudden your legislature starts changing where those flows of money go. And that's an interesting legal question for sure.
It really is. And what's going to happen over time, if you live in, we won't pick Montgomery because we know where it's sitting, but just say Homewood, for example. You live in Homewood, you're paying 75, 80 mils taxes because you voted for all but 10. You have to pay 10 to be a public school district. You're paying for all those taxes. As they become renewable, which they are in 10 to 20 years over time, people are not going to renew taxes to pay for school somewhere in some virtual school somewhere else in the state of Alabama. So over time, you won't have a public school system. Now, that may be what some of the people in the state want, but that's what will happen.
Well, I appreciate the call, David.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Good call. Interesting call. No, I think it would, way school choices worked in other states, certain public school systems would be in trouble because they haven't been doing very well, and people will bite to go, yeah, I got a different option now.
Right.
But I think there are other ones where people will not. They'll be like, we already got a good thing going. And, yeah, it is. Right now, I guess the current funding to schools is based on a pure pupil basis. So, there's always the argument you're taking money from the public schools. Well, that's based on the choices parents then make, though.
But at some point, we got to hold them accountable. How often are we going to throw good money at bad problems?
Yeah.
I mean, we're giving them more money, and we just had a report card come out, too, recently. They ain't doing no better. So do you just keep feeding the beast, or do you say, you know what, enough is enough? Well, we might fail over here, but at least we're trying. Because what we're doing now is just failure on top of failure. I see the product that comes out of public schools. Some of them can't even fill out a money order.
Well, and again, folks, you can't just buy based on the brochure because they're going to talk about like the need for baseline level education, all this stuff. But there are other things going on. There's a reason. Don't just think about this country. Other countries, other governments want to control education.
For a reason, baby.
And in a way, I think I have a radical view that if you have freedom of religion, then you have freedom from a lot of things the government claims province over. That religion actually touches a lot of stuff. And certain things we call scientific or secular are actually getting into the questions of conscience and morals and worldview and how you raise kids, all sorts of things. So it's a fascinating discussion. It's going to be a big one, I think, in 2024 here in the state, which you're already seeing with the calls rolling in. But we got to hit a break, Eddie.
All right.
But first, this part of the program brought to you by New Look Decorating Center. Didn't you say you had to go buy New Look again?
I still haven't gone back by there, but yeah, I've got the other porch at the new house. Be some work this weekend because we're going to take some time off again. So yeah, I'll probably get by there this week. Got to get a little bit of ceiling paint done, which they'll really help out with. I just wish, and I guess maybe I'll ask them, do they have a painter they can recommend? Because Eddie's running out of labor, Eddie's running out of time, so I might actually get a painter this time and just finish this up, be done with it.
Well, folks, at New Look Decorating Center, they're Benjamin Moore shop. They're ready to help you, of course, with those paint or stain supplies, those Benjamin Moore products, or they can even give you tips and tricks. Whether you're doing it yourself or contracting out the job, they know all the painters in town. So you describe the job you want done, be like, oh, we know a guy. He was the right guy for you.
I had to peel a bunch of wallpaper down, and I've never peeled wallpaper, and I'll never do it again. But they are actually smart enough to tell me, hey, go buy one of these inexpensive steamers. It makes your life a lot better. I was just going to scrape it and tear up the wall and everything. $30 later and a little bit of steamer, that stuff came down. Well, it was still pain in the butt, but instead of taking weeks, it took a day or two.
Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in wallpaper and fabrics, who you went to consult with, Katie is the person
that's
to
exactly
talk to
right.
there at New Look Decorating Center. But whether you're working with Katie or Jordan or Brett Lanham, the manager, Brian Carr, the owner, New Look Decorating Center is the place to go for all those paint and stain supplies as well as wallpaper and fabrics. You can always call them at 271-0007. That's 271-0007, or go to newlookdecoratingcenter.com. But I really encourage you to stop by that showroom, see those smiling faces, that great staff there. 6237 Atlanta Highway, right here in Montgomery, where Bell Road dead ends to Atlanta Highway. You'll see it in all its glory. Benjamin Moore's New Look Decorating Center. And be sure to tell them all you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. More after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
All
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with the updated market report. Over the past 11 and a half months, over 4,100 homes have sold and closed in our MLS system with an average price of $245,000. Houses are selling at listed price throughout the river region, and over 35% are selling in the first 30 days on the market. Rising interest rates tend to keep some people from buying, but it didn't stop over 4,100 families from buying this year. There is a cost to waiting and expecting rates to fall, and that cost is appreciation, which has been rising nearly every month for the last 2 years. So the house that you delay buying this year could cost you $35,000 more next year, even if the rate falls. One alternative is to buy now, refinance when rates improve, and that way you are not paying more for the house that you really wanted. For the facts, call Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair. For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Start your day a better way with Action 8 News Rising. Get your first look at news happening today, plus your latest forecast and live traffic reports. Don't settle for the same old morning newscast. Watch Action 8 News Rising, weekday morning starting at 4:30. Don't know an iPhone from a flip phone? You need to watch Action 8 News. Consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker keeps you on top of the latest technology and keeps you safe from scams and identity thieves. Watch What the Tech, only on Action 8 News.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a quiet, storm-free dry pattern for the next several days, but colder air coming up later in the week. Today, partial sunshine, not quite as mild, with a high temperature up to about 60. Colder weather arriving tonight, low temperature 37. Tomorrow and Friday, very chilly, with a high only in the low 50s on Thursday and only in the upper 40s Friday. Lots of sunshine. New Year's weekend, chilly days and cold nights, but dry. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Yes, I am Joey Clark. For those of you who don't know, Let's keep this growing into the new year. Joey Clark Alive on YouTube.
That's right. Like and subscribe.
We are now live streaming the show. Yes, the stupid hum is still there.
Is it?
And I'm working on that. I guess I'll have to do it.
All right.
I haven't come up with a solution yet.
You're going to have to get the Hum Eliminator 2000.
2000?
Yeah. You're going to have to get the upgraded one. I got a feeling looking around here, it's the 80s model. You're going to have to get the 2000.
Okay. Here, yeah. It's like, but that was in the 80s when the year 2000 seemed futuristic.
Exactly.
Right.
Remember Conan O'Brien? Year 2000. Yeah. Good times.
But again, Joey Clark Alive on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Let's go to the phones and now talk to Erica Thomas of 1819 News. Erica, how are you today?
Hey, Joey. I am also an 80s model, so sorry about that.
Oh, no, I am too. So, I mean, it works out. It was a good decade. Or if JFK got me by the tongue there, sorry. Did you see this story? I know 1819 didn't report on it, but it's so crazy. It's part of AP's oddities. Alabama woman with 2 uteri and 2 cervixes is giving birth to 2 babies after carrying one of them in each uterus. What the heck is this? Any reaction to this, Eric?
Well, I mean, I just think, God gives blessings in all forms. So I think it's incredible, and congratulations to her.
I'm going to hire you as a diplomat if I ever come into power, Erica. That was well done. Now, moving on to something you covered, and we touched on it a little bit with Jeff Poor here talking about school choice, but what's on the agenda in particular for Eagle Forum of Alabama? I know they have a lot of plans coming up for this next session.
Yeah, I actually was talking to them last week, and they have this conference coming up. So Becky Garrickson, the executive director, kind of went through some of their priorities, and we listed those on 1819news.com, and I think they have some other things they're looking into as well. But some of those are things we've looked at before, and some of them are new. I think one of the new ones was looking at making silver and gold, legal tender in Alabama. Right. I thought that one was interesting.
I love that idea. I'm from that libertarian world. I think loosening up the legal tender laws allow people to own sound money without all the tax penalties you get and these sorts of things. Great idea to me.
I do remember when, they made the little gold coins, and everybody was like, "Oh, look, I got this gold coin," and I still have some in my wallet, but I don't use them because they ended up being collector's items. Everybody just kept them and didn't use them.
Are you talking about like the Sacagawea coins or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember those. Fun times.
Yeah, I don't know if people would actually use it, but because you just want to save it and keep it, but it is neat to have it on the books so we could use it.
Government scam.
And I really gypped myself where it was like, Pokemon cards, Beanie Babies, like baseball cards, the Sacagawea coin, the state quarters.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if you collect all these, they'll be worth a lot of money later.
Yeah, 25 cents a piece.
Then I hit my teenage years and then my 20s where I get real cynical and drunk. And I'm like, who needs all this stuff? Worthless, stupid kid stuff. And now they're gone. And these things really are valuable at the end of the day.
Yeah, I have all the state quarters. My grandpa bought me the big map.
Yeah.
And I collected all those. And there was a couple of times in college where I was like, I'd rather have, like, the 3 crystals and, that meal thing that you used to get for, like, $3.
Totally relatable.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I saved them.
That's kind of like one of those chocolate Christmas calendars or Advent calendars where you're like, well, I know Easter's still 3 weeks off, but I'm hungry.
Yes. Yes.
Well, okay. So other things Eagle Forum is looking into is, of course, universal school choice. I like that. Another one they've been pushing for years, and I think, despite my libertarian point of view, I agree with this. Protecting kids from being exposed to online porn. How exactly are they going about this? Is it sort of a demand on the tech companies?
Yes, I think there's going to be, the way they want to do it is just put, laws into place where someone's held accountable when these things happen. And so there's other states that have done this, and we'll have to take a look at how the bill's written up when it comes out.
Yeah, I think last year from my conversation with Becky Garrett said it's like going to the manufacturer of these phones or different devices or even software and saying the filter should be set to filter that crap out. If you're an adult and, you can change that.
Mm-hmm. There are already things in place that parents can get. There's like apps and stuff you can get to make sure, but those things are not foolproof. This would be something to where the companies that put that stuff out are held accountable instead of the parents having to look ahead. But still, no matter what, just be nosy with your kid's phone. If your kid has a phone, make sure you're looking at every single thing your kid's doing online, because they can just get a hold of anything these days.
And another thing they're looking to do, or it seems like Eagle Forum's worried about some big gambling legislation, what they call predatory gambling, coming our way. From your conversation with Becky Garrettson, do you think they're genuinely worried a big push for gambling will happen this session?
Yes, I think every session we can look forward to that being a discussion. As far as how far it goes, I don't know. Every time they always put gambling and lottery together, and that's always an issue. I look forward to the day where they look at each one separately. So we'll see what happens this time.
Now, another story, and again, folks, we're talking to Erica Thomas of 1819 News. Another story you wrote, I guess this came out on Christmas Eve. There was a bowl game down in Mobile, that area, and South Alabama won this bowl game, but the game didn't really stop there. What happened on the field there afterward?
So this game was against the University of South Alabama and Eastern Michigan, and the University of South Alabama won 59-10, and the Eastern Michigan Eagles, who happen to be sore losers, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
one of their players came behind the other player and sucker punched him.
Sure did.
And it was all caught on video on a couple of videos. As you know, there's cameras everywhere these days. And I'm talking, he knocked this guy in the back of the head so hard, but that player's brother was standing right beside him, saw it coming, and it just started this big brawl.
Oh. Yeah. Just hate to see, Eddie, you seen...
I saw it.
Yeah, what did you think?
Damn Yankees. That's why you don't let them come down here.
I don't
control themselves. Can't
Wait,
handle a good
people in
butler,
Michigan are Yankees to you?
Oh, yeah.
What about people from California?
Dude, anything north of Millbrook. Yankee territory.
Oh my.
Yeah, but have you heard about the hill people of North Alabama?
Yeah, they scare me.
I'm not commenting on that because I live in Baldwin County.
No, you're good. You're not a Yankee, Erica, by any means. But
Oh, I know I'm not, but I live in Baldwin County, and it's winter, so the snowbirds are all around.
Oh, the snowbirds
here.
are there, yeah.
I'm gonna leave them. I love the snowbirds. They're amazing.
Watch out, some old man's going to yell at you in his bathrobe.
I just love them. They're amazing. And also my family, I have a lot of family from Montana, but they're just like us down here in Alabama, up in Montana. But yeah, this video was crazy, and thankfully, I don't think anybody was hurt too bad. I mean, it looked like they calmed it down pretty well, pretty quickly. But the team the company that sponsored this bowl game was 68 Ventures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a development company that's based out of Daphne. And I'm telling you, if they could have picked a bowl game to sponsor, this was the one, because they just got a lot of name recognition off of this one.
Well, there you go. Do we know what kind of business they are?
It's a development and investment company.
Oh, okay.
And I actually have a story about that coming out at 2 o'clock. So be sure to check out 1819news.com, and you'll find out why the sponsorship of this bowl game is really a redemption story for the CEO of 68 Ventures, because he is a former Alabama player, and he played during a time where Alabama was not a good football team. His 4 years were like some of the worst 4 years in Alabama history. So it's a really good story.
Yeah, it builds character, though.
Good times.
But
it does, and that's what he said.
So the junior senator from the great state of Alabama, Katie Britt, was tweeting out or posting on the X platform a story you wrote up. It came out, I think, today or yesterday. North Alabama Drug Task Force says 2 men had enough fentanyl to kill 500,000 people, which I believe Senator Britt said would be the entire population of Madison County, if not more. What was happening with the story? Is this more run-of-the-mill or unusual?
This is very unusual just because of the amount of fentanyl taken allegedly from these two men in North Alabama. This was a multi-agency investigation. It was a lengthy investigation. You know, you have these drug task force all over the state, and they work together to take down these traffickers, these alleged traffickers. Let me say that they haven't been convicted yet, but and it appears these two are related. They have the same last name. They're 24 and 21 years old. And so they're Kelvis Stephen Hernandez Maldonado and Anthony Javier Hernandez Maldonado, and they are now charged with drug trafficking, and they found 2.2 pounds of fentanyl, and that might not sound like a whole lot, which, you know, it might not be heavy, but you have to think a tiny, tiny bit of fentanyl can kill somebody.
Right.
And so when you break it down, when you do the math, which I'm not good at math, so I did my research and found out that is enough to potentially kill 500,000 people.
That's absolutely crazy. And, it used to be, it seemed like at least, drugs are for partying and fun and letting loose, escapism, which can go bad. But so much of the stuff now is just poison. Like, it seems like drugs of despair on the streets. And, looking at this photo, the mugshot of these two young men, I wonder who gave them all that. How did they get involved in all that in their early 20s?
I would like to know the story, but I feel like this is one of those stories where, they get wrapped up into this. It's probably their livelihood. It's probably how they're surviving themselves, and
Right.
It's probably how they're making their living. And I don't know if they know any better, but they're going to find out that this isn't how you do it here in Alabama, because these drug task force and the law enforcement in Alabama, they're cracking down on all of this and trying to save lives, but it's really hard to do with the policy at the border right now. As you know, fentanyl is being mixed with everything from methamphetamine to marijuana to street drugs, any kind of street drugs. They're mixing it with things because it's such a strong drug. And the sad thing is, people will hear, oh, so-and-so died of when he bought drugs from Joe Bob down the street, so they must be really good drugs. And it's sad, but these addicts say, oh, I want some of that. And they'll go get it from Joe Bob because it's got to be good. It killed somebody. And it's just such a crisis. But it all starts at the border where this stuff's coming in. And so that's why Katie Britt's been urging the Biden administration to do something and strengthen the border policy to stop the flow of these dangerous drugs.
Well, I appreciate your time as always, Erica. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, thinking about, how can they do so?
You can go to 1819news.com and check us all out. We've got some good stories going on even during the holidays. We were still working to make sure we were informing the people of Alabama about what's important and what they need to know.
Well, I appreciate the time. We'll talk again next week. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Joey. Bye-bye.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you, with that roof of yours. There's a reason people refer to River Region Contracting as the premier roofing contractor here in the area because, they actually, number one, show up on time. They get the job done well without leaving a big mess. But they also, when you call them up at 356-8635, that inspection, free.
Yeah, but how much is the estimate?
Also free.
What?
Yeah. And they're a team of insurance specialists, so if they do find a problem with your roof your insurance company might cover, they can walk you through the claims process.
I like the sound of that, Joey.
Make it simple and easy, which is not always the case with insurance claims.
No, not at all.
That's why you need specialists, true experts, having your back through that process. So you'll check out River Region Contracting today. Again, that number, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd Clark and that great team there that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More News and Views after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Make Philo your ho-ho home for the holidays. Give yourself the gift of 70-plus channels, tons of festive shows and movies, and unlimited DVR for $25 a month.
Now that's a holly jolly good deal. Philo's got all the channels you love and everything you need to make the season merry and bright. Food Network is cooking up tasty competitions, AMC is delivering Christmas classics, and Hallmark is bringing you all new holiday originals.
So cozy up to Philo today. Visit philo.tv to start your 7-day free trial. That's philo.tv.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Hey, Tammy, let me tell you about how to bring in those big deer.
Randy, I know how to attract the big bucks.
Ha ha, very funny. At Prattville Farm Center, we've been helping hunters be successful for over 35 years.
We have the products, supplies, and knowledge you need to get those big bucks.
That's right, Tammy. We don't believe in gimmicks or magic seed. We just believe in sound planting practices that work.
So come see us today at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Now that we're done talking about those big bucks, how about those cute does?
Marguerite's Absolute Clearance Sale is still on till this Saturday. That's right, you still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Absolute Clearance at Marguerite's. It's crazy. It's a wacky, happy selfie sale. Every case has its own price on it. $175, $275, $475, and so on. Every diamond, everything goes. All new product in 2024. We had another record year. Thank you so much. That's why the crazy, wacky prices only till Saturday at Marguerite's. We're on Vaughan Road in the Pepsi Shopping Center. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Till Saturday.
The River Region's News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. And it's great seeing, well, on Twitter, he's known as the U.S. Secretary of Common Sense.
Oh, yeah?
But Scott Buttram, who filled in for us one day when I was off going to Greenville to see my new niece, he's commenting, replying to the call after Jeff Poore, saying that no local school system in Alabama is collecting anywhere near to pure pupil rate paid by the state. Completely bogus objection to school choice. Which is interesting. I'm kind of let it rip sort of guy. I think school choice, like full-on savings accounts that parents have control over, that to me is a compromise position. I'll put it that way. I'd like to go further, but I know that ain't going to happen anytime soon.
Well, but it's a good starting point.
Yeah.
And I don't at the end of the day, I mean, you're giving the parents no choice, especially when they're in a failing school and there's not much you can do about it. I'm glad I'm not in that spot because I'm not sure how well I would handle it. But to me, it's asinine. I bet we've got more money going to prisons than we do to education.
Well, there's a competition there. Let's go to Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Red Top.
And this lady before made a very interesting statement about that some of the drug addicts here, somebody dies and they all want to go to the drug dealer to get the strong stuff. And I've never heard it put that way before, but that's what's called natural selection. Wouldn't you say? Them humans, they're going to evolve on out real quick. And let me tell you something interesting. Somebody, a state liquor store employee said to me, because I went in to buy my rum, as I always do, and I asked him, I said, when are you guys going to start selling some flower here? Meaning marijuana. And because, if they're going to sell liquor, they might as well sell marijuana. And you know what he said? And he said, you know what? If we did, this whole world would calm down. He said that's all it would take. Everybody would get off the opioids, all the aggression and shootings would stop. And that was his statement. I found that very interesting from a state store employee. And I agree with him completely. One way to get rid of the fentanyl problem is put it on Schedule 1 and take marijuana off Schedule 1. Don't you think it's madness it's not on Schedule 1?
Yes, but yes. I see why, though, it isn't. Why fentanyl isn't scheduled out, because it's had a actual legit use in medicine for a long time. It's just used in the tiny, small, correct amounts.
Well, in fact, it was invented the year I was born in 1953.
Right.
And so, but there's a lot of other drugs on Schedule 1 that are used in hospitals and stuff like that.
Well, I thought Schedule 1 is no known medical use. So things like LSD and heroin and like...
Well, they made a mistake with LSD too, because now they're prescribing LSD and mescaline and all this stuff to soldiers for post-traumatic stress syndrome.
I've seen the studies, yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, they've been wrong all the time, and all this anti-drug stuff started with the damn Vietnam War and the hippies, because I was there, and I know what happened. It was all around me. Nobody was killing anybody. We were just all having fun and just being good old hippies.
Yeah, but it's the point I keep making, that I tend to think that the drug culture now really does seem like a culture of despair. And I'm not talking about somebody, smokes a joint to relax in the evening or have a cocktail or something.
Oh, I mean, realize that.
Right.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's one of the results of the war on drugs. Everything gets twisted around. It's, it's not natural anymore. You can't, just smoking a bud ain't gonna hurt nobody. In fact, it's got hundreds of medicinal uses. This is why it's also crooked about the marijuana being on schedule use. It has so many medicinal uses. May I make a quick point about your 60-cycle hum?
Very quick.
Yes, because all musicians and any band member in the world, and in my studio too, I got a hell of a 60-cycle hum. And I do believe that's a result of Tesla's alternating current, because 60 cycles is the carrier wave. Interesting, right?
Interesting indeed.
It's true, but that's what the carrier wave is. So the carrier wave is getting into our signals somehow, unless we're grounded to hell and back. And I must have 50 cables in my studio to find mine. It's going to take a few days. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Appreciate it, Red Top. And Happy New Year. Second hour of News and Views on a Wednesday.
Coming up
when we come back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A caravan of thousands of migrants continues to trudge through southern Mexico, with some saying they expect nothing good from a planned meeting between American and Mexican officials about the migrant surge at the U.S. border. The migrants passed by Mexico's main inland immigration inspection point on Tuesday outside the town of Huixla in southern Chiapas state. National Guard officers there made no attempt to stop the more than 6,000 migrants. A federal judge has declined to stay litigation over Alabama's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. The Alabama case is scheduled to go on trial in April. Stocks moving higher now. The Dow is up 98 points. The Nasdaq adding 29. This is SRN News.
From director George Clooney.
What's that about making some money?
Yeah, the rowing team. You get a part-time job and a cheap place to live.
This holiday season.
Come on, boys! That bunch of kids rode like no one else that's ever come through here.
Based on the inspiring true story.
We have a boat strong enough to qualify for an Olympic spot. Well, lay it down, Coach.
Of the underdogs who made history.
The Americans have the 19
96 Olympics.
Roll for your country. Roll for each other.
The Boys in the Boat, now playing only in theaters. Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13.
Are you looking for a meaningful way to preserve our nation's history? Consider purchasing a Blueprints of Liberty brick. Each purchase helps to build Liberty Village. By sponsoring a brick, you become a part of the Blueprints of Liberty Village, a unique destination that brings our founding history to life. This family-friendly location will provide an opportunity for youth and visitors to encounter history like never before. Visit UnitedWePledge.org to order your Blueprints of Liberty brick today.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a quiet, storm-free dry pattern for the next several days, but colder air coming up later in the week. Today, partial sunshine, not quite as mild, with a high temperature up to about 60. Colder weather arriving tonight, low temperature 37. Tomorrow and Friday, very chilly, with a high only in the low 50s on Thursday and only in the upper 40s Friday. Lots of sunshine. New Year's weekend, chilly days and cold nights, but dry. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your goals, your ASE.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. A Tuesday afternoon shooting in Montgomery is under investigation. The unidentified victim was found in the 4000 block of Williams Road with a life-threatening gunshot wound and was taken to a local hospital in critical condition. Suspect and motive remain unknown. A federal judge declined to pause litigation challenging Alabama's ban on gender-affirming care for minors Tuesday. The Alabama ban makes it a felony for doctors to treat people under 19 with puberty blockers or hormones to help affirm a new gender identity. The Alabama case is scheduled to go to trial sometime in April. A suspect in the April 15th Dadeville shooting that killed 4 people and injured 25 others has pleaded not guilty and waived his right to an arraignment. 19-year-old Willie Brown is charged with 4 counts of reckless murder, 24 counts of first-degree assault in the Sweet 16 party killings. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228. Yep, while you were enjoying the Christmas holidays, war was heating up all over the world.
Yeah?
So, great stuff.
No Christmas Day peace or nothing?
No, not this time. At least not in the Middle East. Let's go to the phones and talk to Duke. Hey, Duke, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm all right.
All right. Santa Claus was good to you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Got everything you want, sir?
Everything he could offer and give to me, yes.
Okay. All righty. Last night I got bored. I got a little bored last night. I'm finding something to do in Montgomery. To be the capital city, ain't much to do, is it? But I went to one of our fine gambling establishments. I'm sorry, gaming centers.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't have. Right. Yeah, we don't gamble in the state of Alabama. I'm sorry, state of Alabama, for saying that.
Although my buddy hit for 7,600 the other day.
What?
Yeah.
On playing bingo?
4. And then he told the lady, she's getting ready to leave. He goes, hold on. Don't go nowhere yet. Called it and hit another one.
Holy crap.
He makes me so angry.
Huh?
Did you win, Duke? Did you win? Because I got a buddy that wins a lot.
All right. So, anyway, we ain't. I almost said a cuss word, but...
See?
That's
me
I didn't
when
win
I go.
anything. Nope. Huh?
That's me when I go, Duke. I don't win nothing either. I think it's all a scam.
I just don't go.
I win sometimes, but what I loved about it, what I thought, is that people catching on. I could lay down on any row I wanted to. Damn place down there empty because people have figured out that they're not regulated. I sat there. Hell, it took me about an hour or two here to get a free spin.
Wow.
So what you're saying,
this man
Duke?
beside me. Hey, what I like about hanging out at this place is I like to check. I like to listen to the other people fuss at the machine. This one guy just cussing up the machine, man, and beating on it and carrying on. But man, it's just amazing that people have caught on that they work for 2 weeks or 1 week for a paycheck, and these people get it in 45 minutes or 10 minutes.
I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
That parking lot in Wetumpka stays pretty crowded. That parking deck when I drive by.
They stay
stays
full
pretty
now.
crowded,
They
man.
don't pay. They don't pay, boy.
Yeah, but maybe that's all the
Sometimes.
food or...
Then you like your buddy, your rich buddy. He can make big money. He's gonna hit.
Yeah, it does take deep pockets, I think.
Well, but the gambling isn't the only attraction. They've got entertainment out there. They've got good food.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of drug deals going down and sex workers out there.
Sex workers.
This is all I play when I play. So I don't know. People laugh at me. Say,
Duke, what do you play? Are you a penny guy? You a penny slots?
Yes, I just am.
And do you complain you don't win?
I don't really gamble. I just like.
He's just playing electronic bingo, Eddie. Don't be asking rude questions.
What's the biggest pot you could win on the penny slots anyway? Like 2 pennies? I mean,
I won $800 one time.
On the penny slots?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's a lot of pennies.
That's pretty good, man.
But I try to stay out of the place. I take about $20-$40. That's me right there. I don't have the money like you guys. Going in.
I don't like it. Like I've never been to any of these bingo establishments around here ever. And I've been gambling proper once. It was the MGM National outside of DC. It was all right, but it wasn't my scene.
Right, when they just steadily taking your money, you're like, I don't know.
Well, and I didn't have much money certainly not as much as I have now. So I had like $100, and like, all right, let's do a little roulette, little blackjack.
So my thing is my thing is for bringing it up is, shouldn't we be allowed as citizens to vote on this thing? We want to gamble, we can go to gamble at different places now. Victoryland. I went to Selma the weekend. Me and my wife rode over to Selma. I had to take care of something in Selma, so I saw all those clothes. The establishments closed. I said, man, what happened to competition?
Though what's interesting, Duke, is the voting on gambling is itself kind of a gamble because you don't really know what's going on inside this machine, the political machine, and what they're offering up to you.
Yeah.
It could be you'll win $1 million. It could be you're actually creating a new cartel that'll essentially own this damn state.
Yeah.
But Alabama, we bottom. I'm gonna ease on the education for a second. I know y'all got to go and everything, but I said that ought to go in the education. We last on everything. We don't gamble in the state of Alabama. We got 3 gaming halls. I mean. But the education has been at the bottom forever. Now y'all trying to experiment with a damn school choice when those parents made those choices years ago.
So what should we do, Duke? Just continue down the same
road
road
had that
we're on?
conversation last week. Huh?
We should just continue down the same road we're on? Continue down the failure road? No change?
As we talked about last week, the party that's in charge should fix it. Instead of about worrying about it.
Haven't we waited too long for that?
Huh?
Haven't we waited too long for that?
No, but we've been with your Republican Party been in charge since 2013. No, they took over in 2013 or 10 or something like that. They tried to fix the education. What happened, Joey?
It hadn't
Nothing
been fixed.
changed, no change.
Well,
So-
plenty of people have made money, though, in the
Oh, yeah.
education system.
Yeah.
There are a lot of tax
But the
takers in
thing-
that system.
Some of us lost money.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, these private schools taking the best kids out of the public school, athletically.
If I got a smart kid and there's if I got a smart kid and there's dumb kids in his class that's going to hold him back, sorry, I'm going to get my kid
They
out.
recruit these kids and tutor them and all that, and pay some of them probably have come to the private school, for what I heard. I ain't say it on the air, nothing like that. But you know what I'm talking about. These people that got the kids in the private schools doesn't give a damn about public schools, but they come on here and talk how bad they are all the time. You don't participate.
They participate because they're forced to
Right,
pay.
they're forced to pay. Forced to participate. Whether you got a kid in there or
I
not.
don't even have children, and they take my money to go put it into a crap system that doesn't educate kids.
Well, the people at the top not doing their job.
That's why I want to change it up.
But put the blame where it belongs instead of blaming the kids.
I don't want to blame
I'm not
nobody
blaming
no
the
more. I
kids.
just want it fixed. I want them to get out of my way.
Well, though it depends on the kid. Sometimes you got to blame a kid. Don't get me started on the, the parents are never bad, the teachers are never bad, the kids are never, well, somebody in this situation is screwing up. Unless nobody's guilty of anything at all.
I knew some bad kids.
Take from the top now.
Some of the times it is kids.
Bad kids.
I know some of
Roman
those
Isaac.
rotten
Roman
kid.
Isaac, can I talk to you for a minute?
And you follow a stupid kid home, find a stupid parent. Man, that guy.
Roman Isaac, can I talk to you for a minute?
But they know how to make love, even though they're stupid, though. So they keep pumping out those stupid kids.
Joey.
And I'm forced to pay for them.
Joey.
Yeah.
Can I speak to you?
Real quick.
Where's Governor Iris today?
I don't know.
Might be a
I
little
want to hear
hungover.
you. You hungover?
She might be a little hungover today.
I have no clue. I haven't been keeping tabs on her lately.
Okay. But to quiet you down, it starts with her, Joey.
Yeah, well,
She
that's
said
why I didn't vote
everything
for her
was gonna be
last
number
time.
one.
Yeah, that's why I
I didn't hear
didn't
another
vote for
show
her.
today talking about, that some kids in part of the neighborhood, how he said that kids are being influenced by the bad kids around them. I mean, have anyone told us yet how good the private schools are doing? As in the grades or when the parents are being threatened by
my guess
the
for
money
that would be
parents telling them,
if it's a successful private school, being it's a, I can take my kid out, take him somewhere else. If it's successful and they're still open, must be doing something right.
private
People are
school,
still
I'm
going.
talking about a real private school, but
Sure.
since the early 90s, all these pop-up private schools started appearing. How are they measured for its academics? Where the test scores are for these private schools? I want to see some of those before I, tell everybody to shut down all the public schools and run over to the private schools.
Well, and also, we just got to stop using, it's the language everybody uses, but public versus private. Excuse me, the public institutions serve a lot of private interest
That's all
and
we
private
hear.
bank accounts, and a lot of private institutions serve the public very well. The difference here is that one school system gets to take people's money under the threat of legal violence. The other has to persuade people to give them money because I'm going to do a good job with your kids. Well, if you can't afford that, then go to the one that forcefully takes people's money, and even if it's a crap outcome, we still get to take your money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Back
so
again.
tired of this.
Back to you again, one more time. Start at the top. But just as sure as I do right now that everything Biden does in the White House, he get blamed for it if things doesn't go right in the country. In Democratic states where they're Democratic governors.
Yeah,
they
and
get blamed for
people
everything
still
goes
are
wrong
mad
in
at
that
Hulk
state.
Hogan for turning over to the NWO for a time, brother. I got to run,
In the state of
dude.
Alabama,
Just
it's
no,
controlled by the
I'm done.
Republicans.
Happy
It's
New
a start.
Year.
See you, Duke. Love you, brother.
Done. I'm mad at Duke. It's just a frustrating topic. Where no matter what we seem to do, no matter how much money seems to get spent, well, a few people who aren't doing a great job get paid. Everybody else gets, holding the bag.
Right. It doesn't work like that in the real world. If you are in charge of something at my job, and everyone keeps failing, and we go to you and say, Joey, can you change things up? Is it you? What are we doing here? And you say, no, it's everybody else. Eventually, we're going to figure out it's you.
No, and
you got to go.
Well, and a great way to figure that out quickly is you nor I'm not allowed to take your money at the point of gun. Even if the law says so, you're not allowed to take my money at the point of a gun. How about you work with other people voluntarily, and we see how it works out?
Well, there's no incentive.
And if you screw up, you have to bear the cost of your screw-ups.
Well, like you said, there's no incentive to do that. I'm going to take your money regardless of the product that I put out.
And this
I'm
is the
taking your
problem.
money.
Exactly the problem. 272-9228. Whew, man, Duke, you're just getting us worked up, man. Just getting us worked up. How about this? Before we go to Bill, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you fellas out. Well, help you men out. It's right there in the name.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been feeling run down, tired, sluggish, lacking energy, motivation, and drive, not just physically, but mentally, you're kind of listless, aimless even. Low libido, no sex drive to speak of. These are all symptoms of low testosterone. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. It's only a quick blood draw, and for $99, you can know your testosterone numbers. And if you do, in fact, have low T, they have treatments there that can truly change your life. Now, you should expect lower Ts. You get in your 50s, 60s, 70s. This is natural. But some men of that age want to have that edge back.
Right.
And so there are a lot of men who, say in their 60s or even 70s, are going in for testosterone therapy. But it's also, low T is a problem with a lot of 20-something, 30-something-year-old men these days.
Sure is.
So they can help you out. They have treatments that can truly change your life. Most men, after these treatments at Montgomery Men's Health, experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, brother, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You may even notice an increased sex drive, which is pretty awesome.
I think so.
Check them out today. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or you can always go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go to Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, bud?
Joey, you're trying to have a logical conversation with an illogical person. I mean, let's face it.
Wait, right now?
Duke thinks the Republicans are to blame for everything. Figure that one out.
Well.
So, education is not that complicated. I mean, let's look at it from a broader perspective. The whole state is on the same educational curriculum, right?
I suppose.
Everybody has the same
There's some,
I'm sure there's some
customizing at the local level, but yeah, generally speaking, yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think if you start at the schools in Mobile, Alabama, and you work your way up and you look at a comparison of the books, it ain't even close. There's so many versions of so many annotated books and hand-picked selected curriculums that it ain't even funny. But let's see. All the schools are, all the buildings are the same, right? They got roofs, sides, and rooms on them. They're heated and air conditioned. All the kids are the same, basically. They're either male, female, and black, white, basically all the same, just a little difference. So what's the big deal? Why can't education be cookie cuttered?
Well, number one, everybody's not the same.
Well, yeah, they are. I mean, they're all kids. Come on. What's the big issue? Why can't they turn out a good product? I've been working with a product that has turned out in Montgomery for over 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I get employees who read on about a 5th grade education. Their comprehension is about 5th grade. Their reading ability is about 5th grade. But they're still passing. They're supposed to be seniors and they graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So if the school system is failing, and I disagree with you, the deal with a private school is the parents who can afford and care send their kids to private school. And if parents had school choice, the private schools would have a waiting list of years worth of kids, because the public school is nothing at all but just babysitting. Tell me what they're doing. They're babysitting. They can't punish the kids for not learning or for misbehaving. They can't force them to do the curriculum, whichever one it is they got. But you can't tell me that Montgomery kids are on the same curriculum as Mobile, as in Huntsville, as in Hoover. I just don't believe it.
Well, there are basic standards set at the state level, and that gets filled in by the local boards. So, yeah, there are going to be differences in textbooks. There's going to be differences in the amount of local support and money and taxes people put on themselves. And there's just going to be differences based on what neighborhood you can afford and choose to live in many cases.
Money is not even in the equation, because everybody pays property taxes. If you choose to live in a poor county with very few people in it, that's your choice. It's just like voting districts and trying to have congressional districts that are guaranteed to have black representation.
Right.
You know, last time I checked, segregation was done away with in what, 64, 65 in the state of Alabama?
Yeah, legal segregation, yeah.
But yet it still goes on politically.
Sure does.
Anyway, that's my rant for today. Appreciate y'all giving me a minute.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
No, and just what drives me nuts, Eddie, is the more you go down this issue, I can have opinions on this issue.
Right.
But I've made talk about choice, active choice, not to have children. Yet apparently I have to care about and help fund everybody else's kids. The hell is the fairness in that? Why are you making that stupid face over there?
I'm enjoying your point. Good point. Good point, Joey.
What do you mean?
You made a conscious effort not to have kids. That's a good
So
point.
far.
Yeah.
Oh, do you think I'm lying about that?
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Eddie, you have me all wrong.
I didn't even say it. Did I say that?
No, you have me wrong.
I know. You could have all the ladies. I know.
No, I didn't say I could have all the ladies. I could have settled, though. But I didn't, because that's a bad thing to do, right?
For some people.
Could have settled, and then after the kids are a few years old, get a divorce and be on to the next failed
That happens. Happens a lot.
path, yeah.
Happens a lot.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to Jeff. Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing good, y'all.
Hanging in here like a hair in a biscuit, brother.
I'm like Joey's having a meltdown today. I'm like Greg.
You're having a moment.
I'm on way in on your education thing, though.
All right, what you got?
I grew up in the 60s. I'm 65. Be 65 in May. I went to a public school, and I turned out pretty doggone good.
Mm-hmm.
They taught reading, writing, arithmetic, history, science, English, all the basics. They didn't have all this yada yada in there, to borrow from a commercial. I mean, you go back to the basics. Go back to teaching what the 3 R's and the English and everything. Go back to teaching that. You teach that, you'll have some kids that actually have some brains that will become somebody.
I agree, Jeff, but I don't think you can get you'll never get public education to get back to that. They're so worried about the yada yada yada. So that's why, to me, the school choice has got to be an option. Either your kid's going to be doctrinized or not.
You give the teachers a choice: either teach the damn right stuff, or get the hell out. So it's going to take voting. It's going to take voting in some good people.
Right.
That's going to stand for that and get back to the values that this United States was built on, instead of the crap they're trying to shove down our throats.
Here. Sure. But the reason I am a proponent of school choice is I think school choice will break this inertia that has a bureaucratic system that is just seems immune to change.
Yep.
So let's break
First
the
of all, you gotta get rid of
administration.
the organization.
Right. Let's change that up. And I think folks sometimes get it wrong too that the school choice just mean you're choosing from the already fixed pie of schools out there, maybe for the first year or two.
Mm-hmm.
But with all this money floating around, you know how many creative ways people are going to pop up schools, or even if it's like a homeschooling co-op or it's more of a neighborhood school. Like there's a lot of opportunity here, and it could create a more dynamic education system that fits particular needs, as opposed to this bureaucratic nightmare we currently live with that doesn't even teach the basics well. To your point.
Yep. You got to teach the basics. If you teach people to read and to write and to do math and English stuff, I mean, English is not that hard. They just make it hard. And you can put together a cognitive sentence instead of what Joe Biden tries to put together. he can't even put together a sentence. All he knows about is corn pop.
Oh, yeah. And his,
I got hairy legs.
Yeah, he does.
That too.
Well, I appreciate it, Jeff.
All right.
Have a good one, Jeff.
No, it is like, why are we not getting back to the basics? Because, well,
we're running from them.
Yeah.
We're running from them. I don't understand that.
Yeah, to me, it's across the board. It's not just school choice. Like, why are Alabama's outcomes so bad? Why do we have such bad outcomes nationally? Like, the more I think about it, I'm starting to agree with somebody like a Dr. Tankersley. Like, this is a more, like, values, virtues, fundamentals. How do you embody these ideals?
Mm-hmm.
This is more like a faith thing or a philosophy thing.
Right.
Which most folks don't want to consciously think about all the time. I don't blame you. But that seems to be what we're losing, our foundation. On a very fundamental level, we don't have any footing. And so all our institutions that we didn't build, that our grandparents or great-grandparents built, our parents built, looks like you actually had to do maintenance and upkeep, and we haven't been doing those things. And we forget that the maintenance and upkeep isn't just the amount of dollars you spend or the amount of new toys or gadgets that you build. Technology does not solve all of life's problems. In fact, the more you rely on technology and just throwing the almighty dollar at an issue, you might be losing more and more of what allowed your grandparents and great-grandparents and the generations before you to actually build these things in the first place when they didn't have nearly as much money or technology as you. It's not about all this stuff outside. It comes from within. The light comes from within. And it seems we're forgetting that slowly but surely while we blame everybody else. 272-9228. Happy New Year, everybody. Before we hit this break, this part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And there at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team are ready to help you with, well, any sort of electronics repairs. They specialize in smartphones, though. Yes. So it could be cracked screen, water damage, which could be you fell in the pool, somebody pushed you in the lake, maybe you dropped it in the toilet.
It happens.
They know, by the way.
It happens.
Or it could be like a dirty port or a battery not holding a charge. Maybe you got a virus or you're locked out of your account or something. XI Repair can help you out. They also can do work on laptop computers, desktop computers, top-end gaming consoles like a PS5. They can even do data recovery. So if your soon-to-be ex-wife, you know that she deleted certain texts that she's now claiming, I never sent.
Never sent, huh?
Well, have your attorney contact XI Repair. They can recover that purposely deleted data for you. So check them out today. You can always go to xirepair.com, start a job online, get an immediate quote, or give them a call at 777-1234. That's 777-1234. And be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. We'll be right back.
All right.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
May I help you?
Well, howdy. I'm Bill the electrician. Come to wire up your new air compressors.
Oh, well, okay. Never seen an electrician pull up in a camo Jeep with deer antlers on the front.
Yeah, that 3 points of beauty, ain't it?
No matter what your electrician is driving, make sure it says Crosby Electric on the side. Crosby Electricians will take care of your electrical issues professionally and for a reasonable price.
Bill, you sure you know how to design these circuits?
Well, of course. And if I do get stuck, I got a secret weapon.
Oh, yeah?
YouTube.
Oh, boy.
Crosby Electric has been serving this area for over 50 years. We have the experience to do your job correctly.
Okay, let's try out these new air compressors.
Bill, you blew up my new compressors.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here, take my Jeep. It's yours.
What?
I'll just keep the horns, if that's okay.
Protect your property and yourself. Always call the experts at Crosby Electric or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Marguerite's Absolute Clearance Sale is still on till this Saturday. That's right, you still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Absolute Clearance at Marguerite's. It's crazy, it's a wacky, healthy selfie sale. Every case has its own price on it. $175, $275, $475, and so on. Every diamond, everything goes. All new product in 2024. We had another record year. Thank you so much. That's why the crazy, wacky prices only till Saturday at Marguerite's. We're on Vaughan Road in the Pepsi Shopping Center. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Till Saturday.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to Urbanite on line one. Hello, Urbanite.
What's up, Urbanite?
Hey, good. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
I'm not going to make your blood. I'm not going to make your blood pressure better, there, Uncle Joey. I'm amused by your fake indignation. But my thing is this.
Fake indignation? No, you're going to get my blood pressure. Screw you, buddy. Fake.
Anyway, I don't.
Wait, no, you don't think I'm actually upset about having my money forcefully taken from me for a crap product?
Oh, yeah.
This endless parade of mediocrities, they're indoctrination centers. No, I'm actually pissed about it. I just know you can't do it every day. But don't say it's fake indignation. Up yours.
Oh my goodness, that was erotic. Anyway, here's the deal.
Get off the phone, jackass.
Jeez.
272-9228. Fake indignation. Lose my number, sir. Lose my number. What else is going on in the news? Plenty, actually. Plenty of fallout from all the ballot conversations. Yeah, I'm done with that crap. Plenty of fallout from all the ballot conversations, Eddie, with Trump being taken off the ballot in Colorado. Now, Michigan is way in.
They tried Michigan, right?
Yeah.
And the Michigan Supreme Court said not today?
Right.
Now, do you think they said that because...
No, because it actually makes legal sense, whereas what Colorado did is there's... Essentially, they quoted Trump constantly out of context. They cherry-picked certain words. They essentially stringed together a theory that didn't exist in the facts of the case and also just doesn't stand up to constitutional muster.
I just wonder, and it's just me being naturally me, if they said, well, we don't feel like... we know that Colorado's going to lose that fight with the Supreme Court. So rather than us lose it too, we'll just not even mess with it.
Right.
Saving face. That's what I'm trying to think. It's just saving face.
Right, maybe.
But do you think there are others that are going to get on with Colorado?
Oh, yeah, California's looking into it. It could be
That's
that
one that said, find a way.
Well, Trump might as well not even be on the ballot in California, given the way that state's been set up now.
If you give that, if you give it there, then somebody else is going to say, I think if you qualify to be president, period, whether California likes you, whoever likes you, you are supposed to be on the ballot. That's how it's supposed to work. And if we give 1 inch on that, then before long we're just going to have one person to vote on, because they constantly eat away at every bit of rights we have. So like we even say it in school, we've gotten away from the basics. There's some things that we've just got to put our foot down on and say, no, I'm not giving in.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to.
You've got to, but it doesn't seem like anybody's holding on to anything.
I know.
In terms of
That's
standards.
what's so frustrating.
It's almost like the fight for political power is destroying every aspect of society and any standards we might have had in the past. It's like the country's becoming unglued, slowly but surely. Not just politically speaking, but the social fabric itself.
Well,
as we all get fat and happy with our delivered meals at night, while the boomers take one last vacation. That'll make you happy, I'm sure.
When you're on it, it does.
Okay. What about those quiet moments?
Yeah, well, that's why you have the band that always played in the background there, Joey. But it's gotten crazy where, like states like California and New York, say you've had enough of them. You're like, you know what? You've just taken too many of my rights away. I'm going to go to Tennessee or Alabama or Florida. Well, now they get clawbacks. You might be leaving, but we're going to take some money.
Right.
Well, huh? How is that even constitutional?
Because they're going to do what they...
Because they're going to do it.
They ask for forgiveness afterwards. They don't ask permission. They're government. That's what good is having a government if you can't force people to do things they don't want to do.
I'm telling you, I don't get that.
Right. Also, there's an interesting story put together by the Daily Caller. And here's the headline. Here's how the Biden administration treated countries who kicked candidates off the ballot.
Oh, interesting.
They've enacted or threatened sanctions against foreign nations who have kicked opposition candidates off the ballot, leading some lawmakers to question the Supreme Court ruling there in Colorado. But, of course, they ruled 4-3. It's been stayed. It's going to go before the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
But the Biden administration has previously used sanctions in retaliation against foreign nations who engaged in stifling political competition and removing opponents from election ballots. Several lawmakers have pointed this out, from Mike Johnson to Mike Lee to Marco Rubio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mike Lee in particular said we threatened sanctions against countries that had their courts exclude a challenger to protect the incumbent. Yeah, that's how Iran. They claim to be the Islamic Republic of Iran. Well, yeah, the people get to vote, but that's after the Guardian Council gets to decide who's a legit candidate, who's not.
Okay, explain to me, Joey, the big difference between us and them on that. Because we got two parties, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't make it up to mustard with one of those two parties, now you can run like an independent like Kennedy, but you know those chances of winning are none. So explain to me, what am I missing? It sounds like ours is a lot like theirs.
Or how about how would we consider elections done by all of a sudden fly-by-night new mass mail-out ballot rules with drop boxes and multiple,
I would say
standard.
we would react and reject it, but we accepted it like crazy last time.
Yeah, because one side gets to win.
Right.
Goodness gracious.
Well, that same thing on borders. We pay other countries to protect their borders, yet we open ours wide open.
Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and her team are ready to help you. Now, it could be you're looking to buy a home.
Yes.
Man, kick off the new year in a new place.
Exactly.
And, at this point, they can probably get it. How quick is their turnaround, Eddie?
They can actually close, depending on the type of loan, but they've closed normally within 30 days. But they can close, I've seen them within 12 days.
Wow.
12 days, Joey.
So maybe you get in a house, get it closed, get in that house by January, skip a payment in February.
Yeah.
I like that. Or you can do a refinance, have the same deal.
Yeah. Yeah, say you spend a little bit too much on Christmas.
Right.
You know the cards are coming in.
Right.
Go ahead and refinance it now.
Yeah, and it could all be maybe a bunch of debt problems, could be more just a cash flow, time-sensitive issue. Or it could be, hey, my family's getting bigger. I need a bigger house.
That very well could happen.
Alabama Home Mortgage can help you with all that. And the great thing about Kim and Madeline is they actually get to know you. They get to know what are your goals in buying her home, what are your goals in refinancing a certain property, and they'll steer you in the right direction. So check them out today. You can always call Kim and Madeline at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit them on the web. Apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. We'll be right back after this.
Not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prival Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
The fall sale is on, and there's never been a better time to upgrade your floors. During Prattville Carpet's biggest sale of the year, find deep discounts on Mohawk flooring for every room in your home, plus interest-free financing with approved credit. Get new floors before the holidays with huge discounts. Visit PrattvilleCarpet.com or call 285-8117 today.
Prival Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This is your roving reporter, and I'm talking today with an elf. Hello! So you live up here at the North Pole and you work for Santa, is that right?
Yeah, that's about it, man.
And I guess you're pretty tight with Santa.
We are like two peas in a pod, man.
So I guess you guys share a money man.
That is correct, sir. We both use our friend David Ernest, who takes care of our money.
David Ernest. I've been hearing his name a lot lately.
I'll bet you have. And if you would like to talk to him, you can call him at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
You know, I heard that one time the elves used to take care of Santa's money.
Well, they did, but he had to come up with another plan.
Well, why won't he let the elves take care of his money?
They kept coming up short, man.
This is your roving reporter. I'm going to go and jump out in front of a reindeer.
Watch it, man. They're endangered.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a quiet, storm-free dry pattern for the next several days, but colder air coming up later in the week. Today, partial sunshine, not quite as mild, with a high temperature up to about 60. Colder weather arriving tonight, low temperature 37. Tomorrow and Friday, very chilly, with a high only in the low 50s on Thursday and only in the upper 40s Friday. Lots of sunshine. New Year's weekend, chilly days and cold nights, but dry. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Looking for a tractor, excavator, mower, ag implements, or other equipment? Capital Tractor is as close as your smartphone or computer. Find the best deals, financing information, and browse new and used inventory with just a click at capitaltractor.com.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the phone lines. Let's go to Steve. He's been patient. Hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joey. Hey, Eddie.
How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to reiterate what one of your previous callers had to say about the illustrious Duke. That man is so illogical, it is scary. You know, this is the same guy that when you were talking a week or so ago about school choice, he's the same fool that wanted the Bidens or the administration to give kids money because he thought they should be getting money along with the the student loan payout garbage that Biden's trying to pull off.
Right.
You know, when you talk to somebody like that, you might as well be talking to a fence post. Because, just like your previous caller said, if it has anything with an R in front of it, he is opposed to it. He is a raving lunatic. You know, I've heard him several times on the phone with you guys. Nobody can make any sense of what he has to say, and he is so illogical, it is scary.
Well,
so I just go ahead.
But as I'm sure you listened to me over these years, I am one to argue with a fence post.
Oh, I know. But, you know, there's no way anybody can make any sense with that man, you know, because if you ain't black, and two, if you ain't a Democrat, you're the devil incarnate in his eyes.
Now, the one thing about Duke I have learned, though, he doesn't love the Democrats either.
No.
He doesn't like much of any of them, and that I can kind of understand. But, you know, on the school choice thing in particular, I am beating my head against the wall. I don't understand his point. I don't think he has.
Yeah, you know, I'm retired now, but I spent the better part of 15 years putting my sons through private school. Right. I mean, we struggled. My wife and I worked 3 jobs apiece to make sure that they had a good education. And anybody that is against school choice is an idiot. You know, the parents need to be able to send their children to the school that they want to, that will give them a good education. And during that time that my boys were going to private school, I was still paying taxes and paying for all these other schools.
Right.
So I'm with you. You know, I disagree with that fact. If my kid is not in public school, I should not have to pay for somebody else's kid to go to that school.
Well, and it goes back to something Jeff Poore said at the beginning of the show. He's making a good argument and a good point. It's not necessarily that I agree with it. But he said, I thought we agreed a long time ago as a state, as a country, that we need a baseline level of education and public provision of it. But it seems like whether it's education or other things that we all reached agreement on, you know, 100 years ago, 80 years ago, 50 years ago, I'm starting to think that wasn't us. In fact, those people probably aren't voting anymore, probably aren't alive anymore. And it's almost like across the board, these things we all agreed on sort of falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's a natural thing as the generations turn over. Maybe there's some other things going on. But it's kind of, as much as I yell and make all sorts of noises on these airwaves, I'm genuinely worried that fabric of society is kind of coming unglued. Maybe that's an opportunity to weave it back together, so to speak. But I don't know. It ain't fun right now in the near term.
Yeah, that's very true. And as far as Biden is concerned, the man doesn't have a clue what the hell is going on in the country. There's no doubt in my mind that these people that surround him walk in his office, throw a piece of paper on his desk, Mr. President, need your signature. He doesn't read it, he just signs it. And so he doesn't have a clue as to what the hell is going on. Because I honestly believe that if he did, some of these things wouldn't happen.
Yeah. I would hope so.
I would hope so, yeah.
You know, this is a man that has never held a real job in his life. He has been a politician for more years than anybody cares to remember. He was a politician when I was a young airman in the Air Force back in the 70s. You know, and and has never gotten anything accomplished. I mean, nothing. And they talk about, I watched this one idiot this morning praising Kamala Harris. What the hell has she done? I mean, every job she has been given since she became vice president, she has said, no, I'm not doing it.
Oh, yeah, and then those pictures of her with, like, her hubby, Doug. Oh, God, if she becomes president, that guy becomes first dude. I don't want to hear a damn word he has to say. Like, hey, gentlemen, let's go gardening. Like, shut up,
He's
Doug.
not going to say nothing unless she allows it. He's a very kept man.
Yeah, you know, and And there again, you know, she's touting this bullshit of, well, let's get rid of all the gas stoves. But yet, here's a big old picture on the front.
Yeah, with her in front of a gas stove.
Well, I got to run,
with
Steve.
Her standing in front of a gas stove.
Yep. Well, I appreciate the call,
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, guys.
272-9228.
I heard there's going to be, and I don't see the details on it, but there's going to be 3 more appliances that they're going to try to ban. One of them, which is a dishwasher. I don't understand where we're going, Joey.
Well, in the Soviet Union, you didn't have a kitchen. And this was by design. Not just because they were poor. It's like, no, for the communist, socialist man, no, it needs to be a communal affair.
Oh,
but then also on the cynical side, if you don't have the means to cook yourself a meal, how are you going to feed yourself? Independent of the authority who feeds you.
You can't, can you? Got to have them, don't you, Joey?
Mm-hmm. My goodness, we're running out of time
I
here.
see that,
so
man.
let's hit this break.
Okay.
Come back to some calls. We also need to get to Michael Cohen here of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. People are noticing I'm in a different mood today. Yeah, I think my give a damn is kind of broken heading into this 2024 year, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's things I care about, things I get frustrated over, but I'm just in a kind of a mood of GFY lately.
I see.
It's all the rage these days.
I see.
But somebody I love very much, who not only has been great to me, I'm a customer of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. They're a great sponsor and been helping out people in the River Region for generations there at Cohen's. Michael Cohen on the phone lines. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing quite well. So as we head into the new year and people are going to be watching these big playoff games, you got anything to help them out to enjoy that experience?
I tell you what, we have got some tremendous TVs made by Sony and Samsung. I've got up to 98 inches in stock, made by Samsung. So no matter what size you're looking for, we can accommodate you. All right. And you don't go wrong with either brand. They both do a fantastic job. And then we also have all the extras to go with it to make it sound better, whether it's something as simple as a Sonos soundbar, or if you wanted to do old school home theater with 5 speakers and a subwoofer, or maybe you wanted to go more, 7 or 9 speakers with the subs.
Whew. Man, you got it all there at Cohen's. And folks, you can always go to thinkcohens.com. That's thinkcohens.com, or just stop by the Boulevard. What is it, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery?
That's right. We're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. We're 9 to 4 on Saturday. Of course, Monday will be New Year's. We will be closed in honor of the Alabama football game and the New Year.
Well, I guess War Eagle to that. Actually, I think the Tide's going to pull it out against Michigan.
I believe so.
And
I'm betting for the Tide, really.
I think it's going to be Bama, Texas in the championship. But
yep.
We shall see. But I appreciate the time as always, Michael. And, folks, I bought one of those Samsung TVs. I love it. And so go get one for yourself today. Appreciate it, Michael.
Thank y'all. Take care.
See you, Michael.
And I think we can fit in TS here. Hey, TS.
Hey, TS.
Joey, Eddie.
How you doing, hon?
I'm not going to be on long. I'm kind of concerned about something.
All right.
Joey, you're a host, and I believe that our host and hostesses have the right to blow us off the air if we're not ethically being nice to each other. I've only been listening for maybe 3 or 4 years, but I thought we had a little bit of 93.1 etiquette to where we didn't call out other callers on the air per se. May I get a quick feedback on that, and I'll leave it alone?
Callers are allowed to snipe at callers, but if you call up and mention one of the other hosts, I'm going to cut you off.
Right.
The agreement's between the host and the folks that work here. Sometimes, TS, people say dumb things, and they need to get it. They need to get it good.
Okay, so it's okay that we snipe on each other?
Sure. It's a way to build family.
Okay, Joey, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
See you, TS.
Thank you, TS. Yeah, we've had callers sniping at callers for ages.
Yeah.
For years.
Talk radio.
That's how it works.
You ever listen to Feinbaum? Right.
Not if I don't have
that
to.
Idiot. Yeah, that's all you ever hear. Boom, 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 boom. I knew it was coming up.
Yeah.
But jam.
You like this one?
I do. It's very catchy. You can dance to it.
Next time you take a bubble bath in a new jacuzzi, I can send this over so you can listen to it. Sit there and dance with your rubber ducky.
I think I took like 4 or 5 of them this weekend.
You took 4 or 5 jacuzzi baths?
Yeah. Had to test it out, man. It was good every time.
I think his hands are still pruned. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A top U.S. delegation meeting with Mexico's president about a surge of migrants reaching the U.S. southwestern border. Meanwhile, a caravan of over 6,000 is currently heading toward the border. 6 people are dead, 3 others critically injured after a head-on crash on a North Texas highway. The Johnson County Sheriff's Office says that crash happened near the town of Cleburne. The Sheriff's Office did not immediately release anyone's identity. A high surf warning in effect for some of Hawaii's shores. The National Weather Service says some north shores could see waves of up to 30 feet. The Weather Service warning says ocean surges could affect coastal properties and roads. The Dow had 60 points now, and the Nasdaq is up 13. This is SRN News.
In Dinesh D'Souza's new blockbuster movie, Police State exposes the government's plot to control MAGA conservatives.
These are anti-government.
We have freedom of religion and freedom of speech.
Violent extremists, and they must be dealt with.
MAGA Republicans threaten the very foundation of our republic.
Mass surveillance, censorship, and armed attacks. There's nowhere to hide.
FBI, we have an arrest warrant.
15 marked units on my property.
Military-styled soldiers pointing an automatic rifle at my head.
Are we becoming a police state?
It may be the Russia other people grew up in, but not my America. Directed by Dinesh D'Souza, Debbie D'Souza, and Bruce Shuley. Police State sounds the alarm.
What we need is a person, and then we go find out what crime you did. How did we give the state this kind of power?
Police State. They have their lists. Are you next?
If they're coming for me, they're coming for you.
Police State. Buy it or stream it now at salemnow.com. salemnow.com.
The Ridge Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Alabama's personal injury attorney, me, Johnny Adams of the Johnny Adams Law Firm. Stay weather alert, everyone.
Ridge Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a quiet, storm-free dry pattern for the next several days, but colder air coming up later in the week. Today, partial sunshine, not quite as mild, with a high temperature up to about 60. Colder weather arriving tonight, low temperature 37. Tomorrow and Friday, very chilly, with a high only in the low 50s on Thursday and only in the upper 40s Friday. Lots of sunshine. New Year's weekend, chilly days and cold nights, but dry. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
A report card on the quality of education in Alabama public schools was released earlier this month by the State Department of Education. Madison County school systems walked away with the highest overall grades from that report. Academic achievement within the Madison County schools went up from 69.9 to 71% for 2023. College and career readiness went from 76 last year to a score of 84. Nearby Huntsville City School Systems moved up from an overall score of 82 to that of 85 for 2023. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Where I was living was not a great place to live anymore. I began to pray for a place to go, praying for all of these things that a 9-year-old would want. I wanted horses, big house with a bunch of people my age. I wanted parents. I wanted a mom and a dad. Before I even prayed it, the Lord had already answered my prayer with the Big Oak Ranch. Who would that 9-year-old be if she never came to the Big Oak Ranch? I would be trying to fight for survival instead of fighting to break a cycle.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
The mother of an autistic son in Eclectic is finding ways to assist her child in dealing with his anxiety. Andrea Carter is raising money for the training of a service dog for 4-year-old Liam. Carter spoke about it to WSFA News.
Even seeing them interact today for the first time, you can see like a lot of the stress to go away.
Professional dog trainer Cupid Seymour has already picked up a young service dog named Bo for the little boy and will go about training him.
Getting him acclimated to where he's able to help with things like deep pressure therapy, comforting Liam, and not only that, but just being his friend.
The GoFundMe account for Liam and Bo has a goal of $30,000 for the needed 18 to 20 months of training. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Marguerite's Absolute Clearance Sale is still on till this Saturday. That's right, you still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Absolute Clearance at Marguerite's. It's crazy. It's a wacky, healthy selfie sale. Every case has its own price on it. $175, $275, $475, and so on. Every diamond, everything goes. All new product in 2024. We had another record year. Thank you so much. That's why the crazy, wacky prices only till Saturday at Marguerite's. We're on Vaughan Road in the Pepsi Shopping Center. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Till Saturday.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Vader in the house.
In the house.
And let's go right to the phones to talk to T-Spear.
All right.
Hello, T-Spear.
Hello there. Merry Christmas and an early Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
It's just like you, Joey. I did have a child in the public education system. And I will let you know that other than kindergarten and pre-kindergarten, my child went to public school. He went to 10 of them by the time we registered him for the 10th grade. Let me repeat that. Most people only go to, 1, 2, 3 schools? My child went to 10. And he graduated with academic honors. And he was listed under 2 different high schools as who's who in high school America. So I have a little bit of experience of dealing with the public schools. There are 3 people who sit in every chair: the child, the parent, and the teacher. If any of those are vacant, that child is not going to succeed. Those children owe you, Joey, and you, Eddie, and everybody else out there listening, a statement of thank you. Sincere thank you. They owe you the responsibility of sitting in that chair and learning whatever that teacher is supposed to be teaching them. When I go out like I did today and I see a young woman who is graduated from high school and is probably somewhere with a nose ring, pollution, and clip the leash too, like you do a hog ring, and she's got ears that have been distended so that you can take your finger and put it through it. She didn't learn very much in school. Of how she might look to somebody else and how stupid she really was, and she was to learn. These kids have a responsibility, and they're failing on those responsibilities.
Yeah, but T-Spear, why does that chick want to listen to you or me or anybody else when she can make like $10,000 a month on OnlyFans?
Oh yeah,
I'm not joking. Like that's where it's going, right?
Right.
Well, I don't have any use for people like that, and I stay away from them as much as possible. And when I find out that they're, but the reason that I'm no longer going to those stores, I let the manager of these little stores know the reason that I'm not going here is because you hire somebody that is, if they look like that. And I turn around and walk out. Whatever they have, I don't need that much.
Well,
and I am letting my few leftover tax dollars, I am letting my income speak for me.
There you go.
I have no problems at all. These kids need to learn that they have a responsibility. Parents who are not making sure that they follow those responsibilities have failed that child. People like Duke who say, well, you should pay the kid to go to school and give them more money. If he wants to do that, that's fine with me. He's stupid enough to do it. Go ahead, Duke. Go right ahead. Knock yourself out. Just don't demand that I do it.
Well, and it's coming eventually. They're now entertaining in Canada, up there in the Great White North, of a basic guaranteed income, $2,000 a month.
Well, they want to do that. How rapidly will all those people from Canada be leaving? Sooner or later, the tax dollars dry up because people are not giving them more.
Yep.
When you have someone who is more willing to spend your money than they are to care for what happens to your country, you have problems. This is the same problem we have up in Washington, D.C., and in Montgomery, and in Atlanta, and in every other state capital. When we have the responsibility to put these people into office, and then we let cheating happen, such as happened in 2020 with Donald Trump, which happened in 2022 with Tom Whatley and Jay. The man cheated. You take two votes, you know that they cheated, and you take them to be in office, you have cheated. I had a friend who said, why are you still harping on this? And my statement was, if I allow it to stand today, then it will happen again and again and again. I refuse to let it go. Jay Hovey doesn't like it? Fine. He can do me the favor of returning my call. He can do the people of his district the favor of being in an office where we can come and visit with him and find out just why it was okay for him to take two cheaters' votes. We can find out from Mike Rogers, if he were to ever come, why he does not listen to the people of the state of Alabama.
Because there's that one whippersnapper said I look like a lady.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he looks like a lady. I think he looks like a wimp at this point in time.
There you go, honey.
If somebody my size intimidates him so badly that he can't come and stand up for himself, then he's nothing but a wimp. And the people need to be calling these politicians out on this. And it doesn't matter whether it's your state politician, it doesn't matter whether it's your federal or even your local. I want to know, why is my local government allowing 15 apartment complexes to go up in Opelika and Auburn? Why? How can we afford $2,000, $3,000 a month rent on these houses, on these apartments?
Well, you know, Daddy's got a Tesla. I get like a 5-star apartment in Auburn.
Yep.
Well, you know, here it is. Why? Where are the jobs that are going to support that? Where are the schools that are going to support the children that are going to be coming into this housing area?
No, that's not our problem.
No.
We're just, it looks like on paper here in our balance sheet that we could build another building.
Make it happen. Yeah.
You complain about climate change, and you cut down all the trees, and you plow out the ball fields, and you put in a housing complex with black roofs and black blacktop. What does that do?
Eats things up.
Okay? It creates a heat sink. You don't believe that? Walk on the blacktop in Florida that's painted white and see how much cooler that white is than that blacktop.
Right.
Well, you know, it's not rocket science.
Agreed.
You can't say, well, she's a genius because of all this. I'm not. I'm just smart enough to stand up and get chapped at my government, all of them, for doing what they're doing to this country. I'm tired of people supporting that type of stupidity. And if it ticks them off that I call them out by name, Duke, good. Maybe they'll stop and learn. But somehow, I seriously doubt it.
Duke, you heard it here. I hope you're listening, Duke. She's giving you a good old spanking. Just verbally, at least. I appreciate it, T-Spear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, T-Spear.
Again, may everyone have a very, very happy and safe New Year. This next year is going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Say the least.
Amen. Yep.
God bless all of you.
God bless. Happy New Year. No, speaking of that, of a interesting year coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this little clip from Catherine Herridge on the CBS Sunday talk show?
Don't think
Sunday morning talk show?
I don't think so.
All right, let's play it. It's not long.
No, I didn't see these nerds.
No, and I usually don't watch these either. But Catherine Herridge used to be the one who was at Fox forever.
Mm-hmm.
She was following the whole, like, Durham report. Is John Durham going to get to the bottom of the investigation of the investigators? And here's what Catherine Herridge had to say on this panel.
Okay.
She almost sounds like Alex Jones. I'm telling you, it's an interdimensional war right now between literal demons. Yeah.
Making a comeback.
Right. He is making a comeback. Yeah. But here's Catherine Herridge, her prediction for 2024.
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict. There are a number of concerns that I have that factor into that. Not only this sort of enduring heightened threat level that we're facing, the wars in Israel, also Ukraine, And we're so divided in this country in ways that we haven't seen before. And I think that just creates fertile ground for our adversaries like North Korea, China, and Iran. And that's what concerns me most.
So a black swan event, she says.
Yeah.
No, I tend to agree with the CIA lady. I mean, the reporter there for CBS.
I'm more concerned about her fake eyelashes. They're having issues there. For an old woman that age, you don't need to be wearing them big old fake eyelashes.
I don't blame Catherine Herridge, but...
Well, she's out there delivering a message she was told to deliver.
Let's listen to the beginning of that again.
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a black swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict.
Go ahead.
So I'm predicting a thing that's very hard to predict.
Yeah, go ahead and soften the population up. That way they won't be so shocked.
What, is it going to be a cyber attack?
Who knows, Joe?
EMP?
Who knows?
Aliens?
Aliens just fly right on by now. They don't even.
You're telling me the interdimensional war is going to enter our dimension?
They don't even stop no more. They just lock the doors and keep.
I'm telling you, Joe Rogan.
Telling you, he's making a comeback.
He is making a comeback. Have you seen him on the X platform?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen how many people are talking about the fact that he's on the X platform.
Oh, they're scared, Alex Jones.
Yes, they are.
And they're like, but he did the awful thing. And it's like, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Next.
He still is alive and has millions of people.
But we canceled him.
Yeah,
Next.
Right. Okay. Don't have to listen to him.
Right. There you go. That is the option everybody has. You hear something on the radio or on TV or even the internet. You don't like it, you don't agree with it, turn it off.
But I tend to agree with the CIA lady, Catherine Herridge, where it's like it does feel like they're setting up something.
Yes.
Really big.
Dude, that's as obvious as the
Yes.
nose on our face, man. Come on.
But it's not obvious, though.
No,
No, imagine you were actually a normie. Like you were excited on Thursday nights to watch Mike and Molly on CBS, if that's still a thing.
No,
then your whole world is CBS all day, every day. Oh, NCIS is coming, which actually is not
There are a lot of people like that.
Yeah, NCIS is a good show.
But
you know what I mean. You're kind of in your groove.
But there are less.
You're in the bubble. You've taken the blue pill, so to speak.
But there are a lot less people out there just in the past 5 years that are their mind is opened up. They're not just getting their news source from an NBC or ABC. They realize there are some things going wrong in this world, in their world. So the fact that she's putting it out there, I mean, that to me, somebody gave her a memo before she went on the show and said, here's your speaking points, talk to this. And they are. Something's going to happen. Remember last year? No, a couple years ago, the pallet of bricks, the 2 bombs.
Oh,
we
yeah,
never heard
right.
anything
Right,
else
the pipe
about.
bomb stuff.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Epstein's list. Whoa,
Right.
Coming out January 2nd.
Not to mention, remember the Nord Stream pipeline getting blown up?
Who did that?
Remember when that weird monument was blown up, the one in Georgia?
Dude, I do remember that.
A lot of weird stuff's happened in the last year or two. Remember the whole COVID thing where U.S. funded science actually created a virus that didn't exist in nature before, all in the name of saving humanity, and it killed millions?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Remember that.
I remember that.
I remember those vaccines that they're still pushing that killed millions. Still pushing them. Still pushing them.
Oh, and by the way, people have been talking on the live stream.
Yeah, what'd they say?
Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe. It all started with Romex Angler. We know who you are now, sir. So, Joey, those headphones accent your jowls. You ever thought of trying out slap fighting?
Ooh. Okay, I've watched some more of that. Not into it at all, but there's a whole nother realm to that, Joey, of female slap fighting. No, it's a little bit more entertaining.
I don't have big hands.
No, that you could probably compete in the females, but I'm saying the females are more entertaining than
I'm not going to hit a woman.
They got the pillow fighting too, like that.
Hey, a pillow fight ain't no joke, man.
Dude, they have a league now for pillow fighters. And we get that at the Coliseum.
Gumtown John doubling down saying, I'll pay to see that. Like me slap fighting.
Who wouldn't?
That can be put on someone's backyard. Put it on someone's backyard. I bet it would last to the end. It's a husky jaw. My jaw is a Now you're just making fun of me. Gumtown John saying, I can take bets on who can slap out Joey. Hell, let's have it in a slap out and call it the Slapomania. The slap out and slap out.
I got a place
Actually,
for
that's
that.
not bad.
And we could do it on the dock, and then the loser falls into the water.
And Stephanie says it's chilly in Gulf Shores today. Back to the rest of the peanut gallery. I like where you're headed. I could get shirts printed. Eddie will have to MC due to age restrictions. Oh, my. as the old sad-looking man pity hire. Yeah. Whoa, Gumtown John, that's too far. I get to make fun of Eddie. You don't get to make fun of Eddie. This guy's my friend.
There's no hiring. I am the world's oldest intern.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm still interning. So
it's true. And Romex finishing it off saying, Joey, we all hope you'll get in the groove someday.
Remember,
Is that a euphemism?
He could have had all the babies. He just chose not to. He could be, who's that one guy? Black guy, spends like $200,000 a year that takes his kids to Disney World. Was married to Mariah Carey.
Nick Cannon?
Hey, you could be the white Nick Cannon here. If
that is, you've said a lot of hurtful things to me over the years.
Oh, good Lord.
That might be up there with like the worst. I'm like a white Nick Cannon.
You could have been, if you wanted to be a white Nick Cannon, you could be a real Johnny Appleseed. But
excuse me, Eddie, but that guy already exists. His name is Matt Rife.
Oh, I forgot about him. You could have a really good stand-up comedy career.
Yeah. Now, I'm more like a fat Matt Rife.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, sure. But, we agree. A Black Swan event, some big things about the head our way.
Yeah. And there was talk this weekend on Fox. I'm sorry, I was on the Fox. Of an asteroid that's coming this way.
I saw that. I've actually got a story on that.
What is she putting out there, dude?
No, that's a real thing.
Right.
That NASA has launched a spacecraft to intercept this asteroid. It's known...
Right.
Wait,
What's
hold
it
on.
called, Joey?
Who's naming these things? Because they've named this asteroid God of Chaos.
Right.
What?
That's how I read the article. It said, God of Chaos to hit Earth soon. Okay, that's some clickbait, but I'm clicking. Turns out, and not only did they launch this satellite to go check it out, they terminated the mission the satellite was originally on because they were so concerned about this. So, yeah, who knows what's going to happen? The world could end any time.
I just looked up who's the Greek god of chaos.
Who
Chaos.
Captain Chaos?
Yeah. Sometimes you go, oh, okay. But yeah, they've named this asteroid the god of chaos. What's the Greek god for chaos? It's chaos.
Chaos.
Right. Sometimes spelled with a C, sometimes spelled with a K.
Well, when they're serious, it's with a K.
Oh, and it's actually a goddess.
Goddess?
Honestly, that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense that it would be a lady who's the god of chaos. Anyway, this is a space mission. A NASA spacecraft has recently returned from deep space, has been relaunched for a mission to study the god of chaos. Its god is, don't misgender the asteroid, as it begins to near Earth's orbit. The agency's spacecraft, OSIRIS-REx, now named the Osiris Apex. Now we're stealing from Egyptian mythology. Now has been sent off to study the asteroid. It's extremely close flyby of the Earth in 2029, the likes of which hasn't happened since the dawn of recorded history.
Do they have some old washed-up space guys on there with a bomb to take it to this asteroid to try to blow it up?
When they're doing the Rorschach test, I'm definitely Steve Buscemi.
That didn't surprise me.
Yeah, they're like, what's that? I'm like, breasts. That's what it is. That's good that an asteroid is getting really close to us. It's heading our way. And,
But a couple years away, though, right?
If it did hit the Earth, it's not going to, but if it did hit the Earth, it could create serious problems. The asteroid is estimated to be around 370 yards across. So,
4
just
football fields.
short of 4 football fields, or over 1,000 feet. Note that one of the most well-documented catastrophic asteroid incidents in human history, the Tunguska event, I'm sure you remember that from school, the Tunguska event of 1908, is estimated to have been caused by a rock about 200 feet in size.
Oh, wow.
And when it exploded in central Russia, it did this. And I'm looking at, holy crap, you might have seen these before, folks. It's like it was a whole forest, like long, well-built trees.
Right.
And they aren't just like broken up. They're all like knocked down in unison, like they broke at the bottom.
Design?
Yeah. Like toothpicks being knocked over. So if a 200-foot one did that, I'd hate to see what a 1,000-foot one would do.
You didn't see the strike on Alabama on November 30th, 1954? There's a meteoric crash. It hit a lady.
Hit a lady?
Hit a lady.
What did she do?
In Silicon,
She hadn't been praying to the goddess of chaos
I think she was
enough.
laying down to take a nap or something, and pow wow. Ann E. Hodges. Wow. Imagine that, Joey. Imagine if you were having one of those dreams and all of a sudden a meteor.
Or maybe it could be the supervolcano blowing up. That could be unexpected.
Well, there are changes happening.
A
in
polar.
Yellowstone.
We could have a polar shift. It'd be fun if that happened and like nothing happened other than the compass went the different directions.
What do you expect in there?
But others think no, it would cause a pretty catastrophic effect on the Earth's crust and us at the same time.
I'm more worried about
Could be
supervolcanoes.
aliens that come to visit us. Could be a major financial crash. Cyber attack, I think, is the most likely. We seem very primed for a cyber attack, or maybe another virus.
I think
that accidentally breaks out.
Yeah, one of those two.
Or it could just be an old-fashioned one.
Or it could be a run on the banks.
What was the Ares the god of in Greece?
I have no idea.
You don't know?
No.
War.
I'm a Libra with a bad moon rising, man.
War, baby. Good old-fashioned war. We don't need all these natural disasters, things from the heavens or from the earth. We could just, blow ourselves up and claim that it's some, prophecy while the worst people continue to run the show and send everybody else into the meat grinder. Hey, it happened about 100 years ago. Could happen again. Oh, but Joe Biden wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Sure.
he did, he wouldn't know he's doing it.
Sure, but 2024 might very well be the year of the Black Swan event. And I love that, by the way. What did she say? That my prediction is something really hard to predict?
Well, mine's a little dark. I just feel a lot of concern that 2024 may be the year of a Black Swan event. This is a national security event with high impact that's very hard to predict.
Reminds me of Clinton a little bit.
We'll be right back. Like Clinton?
A little bit there.
Yeah, she does look like she likes the lady.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
For 65 years, Guardian Credit Union has been your trusted financial partner. And now we're proud to extend that trust further by introducing Guardian Insurance Services. Whether protecting your home, car, or even your business, we've got the coverage that fits your needs. Our team is here to guide you every step of the way with the personalized service you know and love. Call 334-819-7555 for a free quote today. Guardian Insurance Services, building on 65 years of trust, now safeguarding your future.
Marguerite's Absolute Clearance Sale is still on till this Saturday. That's right, you still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Absolute Clearance at Marguerite's. It's crazy, it's a wacky, healthy selfie sale. Every case has its own price on it. $175, $275, $475, and so on. Every diamond, everything goes. All new product in 2024. We had another record year. Thank you so much. That's why the crazy, wacky prices only till Saturday at Marguerite's. We're on Vaughan Road in the Pepsi Shopping Center. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Till Saturday.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
welcome back. All right. 272-9228. Something nuts?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's a weird time right now.
It is.
Before we enter into the new year. But I think the battle of the sexes is continuing.
Yeah?
Get a load of this story. It was a Christmas miracle gone wrong, Eddie.
Oh.
Police have charged a 20-year-old woman for repeatedly, that's a quote from the police report, for repeatedly beating her boyfriend with a Christmas tree during a pre-dawn skirmish in the pair's, of course, Florida residence on December the 24th.
Did it say wife or girlfriend or just lady?
Girlfriend.
Okay.
Girlfriend-boyfriend relationship.
Another problem already.
According to a court filing, Miracle Rivera. Really, you named your daughter Miracle?
Well, she's only got 13 other siblings, so yeah, miracle.
But according to a court filing, Miracle Rivera, 20, and the victim, who's 24, engaged in a verbal altercation about infidelity early Sunday morning in the bedroom of their St. Petersburg home. Cops said the victim separated himself from Rivera and relocated to the living room around 3:40 a.m. on Christmas Eve. Rivera allegedly followed the man into the living room where he was lying on the couch when Rivera picked up a Christmas tree and began to strike the victim with it repeatedly. The tree battering, investigators allege, resulted in the victim sustaining numerous minor scratches over much of his upper body and arms. Rivera was subsequently arrested for domestic battery and booked in the county jail. She was released from custody about 2:40 p.m. on Christmas Day and has pleaded not guilty to misdemeanor. A judge has ordered her to have no illegal contact with the victim, with whom Rivera has resided for 2 years. The tree was not seized as evidence.
Man, you a weak man if you let a girl beat you up with a Christmas tree on Christmas Eve.
And this sounds
and
like...
then you call the
This
cops.
wasn't a 6-footer. This is like one of those Charlie Brown Christmas trees she was probably using.
He deserved
one
it.
of those German Tannenbaums we were talking about last week.
Obviously, he deserved it for being such a weak man. Jeez.
And who cheated on whom?
It don't even matter. I'm guessing. Never mind. I don't want to say that. Get in trouble. Don't even matter. I don't even matter.
What is the God is not the God of chaos. Just saying.
Well.
Though Zeus is also known for really stepping out on hair. It's a constant theme of Greek mythology.
Well, there's the Greeks
like the
there,
guy
Joey.
cannot keep his pants on.
The Greeks, man. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Aren't we so lovely as human beings?
If your girl beat you with a Christmas tree, would you call the police? I'd call the coroner because there's some dead chick on my front porch. Just kidding. I really couldn't do that.
Now, continuing on with, I would say, the sex or gender wars.
Yeah.
But there are now people saying that Taylor Swift is the Yoko Ono of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I heard that this weekend too.
The Chiefs fell to the Raiders 20-14 on Christmas Day.
Oh, and they were hot at each other too, buddy.
A loss that guarantees Kansas City will not get the number 1 seed in the AFC playoff race. As the reality of the loss sank in, sadness swept over the suite where cameras found Travis Kelce's girlfriend, Taylor Swift, comforting a visibly distressed Brittany Mahomes. The Chiefs are now 3-5 since Kelce and Swift reportedly began dating. And over that time, Kelce has caught only 1 touchdown.
While those two were hugging up in the booth, those two, their boyfriends down on the field, they weren't hugging. They were kind of giving each other a little bit of a hard time.
No, and they're constantly cutting away to like Taylor in the press box or in that suite up there. I think they might be on to something.
You think they're trying to manipulate people, Joey? Maybe Taylor's going to run for president.
Yeah, but the fans are not backing off. They're like, no, she's the reason that we're losing so much.
That's football, man.
Right.
It's football. You looking for a reason. It ain't us.
Well, it's like that scene in The Wedding Singer. He's like, take off my Van Halen shirt. You're the cursing band, and they're going to break up.
Right. And what happened, Joey?
They did. I think that's exactly what's going on here. Way too much time and attention paid to some, international superstar made $1 billion last year, and not enough of the actual play on the field.
I mean,
back to the fundamentals.
When they're at a concert,
X's and
Taylor
O's.
Swift concert, you don't see the camera going down to him. So why does the camera constantly go up to her at a football game? We want to watch football. Want to see Taylor Swift? I'd go to one of her crappy concerts. But I don't. I want to watch football.
Do you think she's that attractive?
No.
Yeah, me either.
No.
Like, she's attractive in the sense she's successful and like all that stuff.
I hate it, but this is how weak of a man I am. She's attractive in the sense that she's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's it. Other than that, she needs a couple cheeseburgers, to say the least.
You are wearing a Thick Boy Nation shirt.
Well, there you go, buddy.
Folks, there's a reason I saved this drop, because when it comes to Eddie...
He's my best friend. He's my pal. He's my homeboy, my rotten soldier. He's my sweet cheese, my good time boy.
You definitely are my rotten soldier. 272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And talk about great folks there.
Great service, too, man.
There's a reason they've been growing leaps and bounds over the last 2-3 years. And heck, that hasn't been a great time for a lot of small business.
It has not, Joey.
That just shows how good Pest Pro Services truly is. Of course, they can help you with all your pest control needs. Isn't the Zach special still in effect?
That's it. We got a few more days. So it's $300 off your termite treatment if you schedule it before the end of the year. It's $300 off that termite treatment. Wow. And let's be honest, folks. As far as termite goes, in Alabama, it's not a matter of if you get termites. It's a matter of when. So get the inspection.
Well, and it's never too late, never too early.
Right.
Like, just get it done.
Get it done.
Because the termites could hit you whenever.
Yeah.
And it's best to be prepared. Homeowners insurance does not cover termite damage.
They do not.
Nor do they cover termite treatment. So you might as well get the treatment done so you don't have any damage to pay for.
There you go.
And, of course, they can do that there. Pest Pro. And what's the Zach special again?
$300 off a termite treatment. It's $300.
Folks, you got to mention it by name.
Right.
Say that Joey and Eddie, those fools on the radio, were talking about it. And, of course, with all your pest control needs, you might as well make Pest Pro Services your everyday pest control company.
Definitely.
They'll get you on a quarterly schedule, get to know your house, what you in particular need to protect your property from these little critters. So check them out today. You can always call Ashley and her team at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro. Pest Pro Services. Be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. Yeah, Taylor Swift ruining NFL football.
All for a song. You know she's just coming out with an album.
I know. What if she starts dating somebody else
That's what I'm
in the
waiting for.
NFC?
I'm hoping she dates somebody else on the team.
Ooh.
And you know, they can't date cheerleaders for a reason.
Yeah, I knew you were trouble when you walked in, Taylor, all right?
There we go.
We'll be right back.
Joey Clark.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
It's a fact. Guys hate going to the doctor. But when it comes to erectile dysfunction and low testosterone issues, men from all over Montgomery have been thrilled seeing Dr. Alderson and the providers at Montgomery Men's Health. Men all the way up to 95 years old have jump-started their sex drive and energy levels. Lots of men suffer with ED for years, but now they're able to enjoy sex again. Tom from Montgomery said, Montgomery Men's Health has changed my life. I have been able to be intimate with my wife for the first time in 5 years. She thought this problem was because of her, but the pills never worked for me. I had given up until I went to the clinic and realized there were more options for erectile dysfunction. Now I'm happy and my wife is happy. A visit for only $99, and that includes all testing, including a PSA and testosterone test. Give the guys at the clinic a call at 334-440-3663. That's 334-440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. We were spoiled for a few days with some mild air, but now here comes some colder air. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 37. Tomorrow and Friday, just plain chilly. Only in the low 50s for a high on Thursday. Only in the upper 40s on Friday. Lots of sunshine. Then for New Year's weekend, chilly days, cold nights, but lots of sun with dry. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Now, before we have to hit our last segment, final break of last segment.
All right.
Ray Bowles of Bradford Carpet should be joining us. You remember a guy named John Stossel?
Yeah, I remember Stossel.
You know, Stossel's still around.
He used to have a big reason I remember him. He used to have a huge lisp, and they did a whole story on how his lisp is what kind of invited him or gave him the thing to be a reporter. Yeah, I never knew that about him. Yeah.
But here's Stossel. He said that, it's been a 5-year thing. 5 years ago, he reported on Philadelphia's new tax on soda. The politicians promised to spend the money on early childhood education.
Yeah.
5 years later, here's what happened.
Oh, boy.
Let's listen together and figure out, boys and girls, how government works.
Well, you'll pay more for these in Philadelphia because a few years ago, Philadelphia politicians voted to tax these.
Ayes are 13, the nays are 4. Majority of members present.
Listen to the applause. The politicians said the tax will fund early childhood education.
This will be great for this community and to help a lot of families.
But did it actually fund education and help families?
I'm going to say no.
I first reported on this 5 years ago. The end of this video, I'll explain what has happened 5 years later. But first, let's recap.
Okay.
Philadelphia store owners hated the new tax.
It's a bad tax.
Melvin Robinson, who runs Bruno's Pizza, says the soda tax is killing his business.
Yep.
What do your customers say?
What they say, they not buying it.
Right.
I refuse to buy soda in Philadelphia.
For a 20-ounce soda, almost
Good.
$3.
So instead of buying
so
at
crazy.
Bruno's, they cross the street because Bruno's is located right on the outer edge of Philly.
If I gotta get a soda or a juice, I go right across the street.
Right, these customers just cross
Wow.
the street.
I'm glad, but
Save a
ridiculous.
buck.
When I want something to drink, I go right there.
But he comes here for the pizza.
Yeah, they got
pizza
the best
does look
slice
good.
in town.
But the soda tax still punishes Melvin. This happens whenever local governments impose special new taxes.
Like, who should pay $3 for a drink that they used to get for 99 cents?
If customers can escape, they will. Do the politicians think about that? So $1 more for one of these.
It definitely is more, but it's for what we are is a good reason, for a good cause.
Then, City
There's the
Councilman
problem
William
right there.
Greenlee said
That's the
Philadelphia needs the tax money.
Nothing else that we could come up with could raise that kind of funding.
Didn't consider cutting
But soda
anything, though, did they?
taxes are disproportionately paid by poor people. Even so-called progressives campaigned against this tax.
You don't have to fund childcare on the backs of the poorest people in this city. That's a regressive way to raise funds.
It hits the poor most. Even Bernie Sanders opposes this tax.
I didn't know Bernie opposed it, but okay. Remember, we're raising enough money to put 2,700 kids in pre-K and to open 11 community schools.
The pizza parlor's
2,700
customers
doesn't
didn't
seem
think
like a
their
lot.
taxes were being well spent.
Preschool? I doubt that very much.
The mayor says
He's helping people.
He ain't helping me. He's tearing.
I love this guy right here. That's just such common sense.
Meanwhile, taxes create unintended consequences. Soda sales did drop by almost 40%.
40%.
But alcohol sales rose.
Now some people are buying more liquor. Less Coke, more liquor.
I don't know about that, because we have a liquor tax too. So.
Well, we got the numbers.
Politicians love taxes on unhealthy things, and so do the media. They applauded when Denmark taxed fatty food.
Denmark has decided to implement what they're calling a fat tax. Basically, you go to the supermarket, you buy a food that has above a certain level of fat, they charge you extra. All right, do we feel good about this, Doc?
Absolutely.
But Danes just crossed the border to shop in other countries.
Right.
Within a year, Denmark repealed its fat tax. But Philadelphia isn't repealing anything. People in this town
they're gonna
already
double down on
pay
stupid.
44 taxes. State income tax, sales tax, cigarette and alcohol taxes. Philadelphia has a very high income tax compared to other places. How can you not have enough money?
The wage tax is
rolling
high.
in money.
And that, I don't know about that, but there's a lot to do out there, John.
$4 million for the Office of Arts and Culture. Funded 2 sessions of dance instruction. Teach youth empowerment, social issues through hip hop.
Somebody got paid.
Yeah, it's helping certain families.
Just Arts and Culture does a very good job in the city of Philadelphia.
Like we need that.
Thank
like
you.
we need that.
They're funding the arts.
What arts? People trying to live.
Politician says we got to raise money.
Stop
Throw the
stealing.
bums out, man.
That
Amen.
would be nice.
I don't know that he's stealing, but he pays himself $121,000 a year.
Wow.
You make $121,000 a year, 3 times what the median income, what your citizens make.
Well, I don't think that's terribly unusual for elected officials.
Sadly, he's right. Politicians routinely make much more than the people they allegedly serve.
Yep. A lot of citizens should make more money.
Well, they can't make more money when you're taxing them
Tax them
to
to
death.
death.
Well, I don't think we're taxing them to death.
5 years later, what's happened? Greenlee left the government. And Bruno's wasn't quite taxed to death. It is still in business. But did the tax money, as promised, make big improvements to education? No. Turns out less than half the money went to that. Most was just dumped into the city's general fund. As often happens, Philadelphia's soda tax took money, mostly from poorer people, and gave it to politicians to spend on whatever they want.
Got to get away from that. Yeah.
That's John Stossel, folks.
Not a surprise. Disappointing, but a couple of things I learned from that. I won't eat at Bruno's because you don't get pizza and seafood at the same place.
Oh, that pizza did look
The
good.
pizza looked good, but when I saw the seafood sign, that kind of threw me off.
No, but I love what the owner of Bruno's said. That
Oh, I
pizza
love
place
the
said,
guy.
stop stealing from me.
Yeah, but it's the truth, was it not?
Yes.
100%.
Well, but all the other people that steal get paid the same amount, and we call it service.
And I love the fact the guy left the government, but you notice he made his reason, I make 3 times what everybody else should make. Of course they should make more money because then I get to tax them more.
Yeah. Just seems all cattywampus.
When
Like
he
everything's
left the
been flipped
government,
on its head.
If that's his policy, he should have took his policy with him.
Mm-hmm. Ah, but they live beyond even the folks that leave.
That's the problem, Joe.
I think we need a policy jubilee, so to speak.
The policies are, and all his job is to get rid of policies.
No, I'll wipe away all your student loans
right.
if you wipe away all the taxes on me. How about that? We'll just do it all at once. Reset the casino, so to speak. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Marguerite's Absolute Clearance Sale is still on till this Saturday. That's right, you still have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of Absolute Clearance at Marguerite's. It's crazy, it's a wacky, happy selfie sale. Every case has its own price on it. $175, $275, $475, and so on. Every diamond, everything goes. All new product in 2024. We had another record year. Thank you so much. That's why the crazy wacky prices only till Saturday at Marguerite's. We're on Vaughan Road in the Pepsi Shopping Center. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. Till Saturday.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Closing up the show here. Now, we normally talk to Ray Bowles of Bravo Carpet, but, check to see if that's him, Eddie. Because I don't want to leave Ray out, as has become tradition. Okay, cool. This him on one? Hey, Ray, how you doing this Wednesday?
I'm doing good. I'm multitasking. I've got a customer here. I want to show her some pictures of some steps at my house, and I'm talking to you guys at the same time.
Wow.
So, yeah, we are definitely multitasking. Listen, we've got a couple more days left of the year. We can still replace those orders for the carpet sale. So if your need for carpet we need to do it like today and tomorrow.
Okay.
To take advantage of these sales. So call us at 285-8117. We'll get out and give you that free measurement.
Again, that number 285-8117, and this doesn't have to be they install it in January necessarily. This is just to lock in that material, right?
That's right. Hang on one second. I'm going to ask somebody something. Which station did you hear that on? 93.1. You want to tell Joey, hey, we're doing it right now?
I'm listening on it right now, too.
All right, here we go. Goes around the circle.
There we go.
Oh, well, yeah. Y'all call 285-8117. Be sure to tell them you heard about it here on News and Views with Joey and Eddie, those fools.
That's great.
That's
hey, guys,
awesome.
y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray. Thank you, brother.
Wow, that's a heck of a way to end the show.
That's good.
That's hilarious. We can find out who that guy is.
Well, you know who listens, right?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, that's been going on since before you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody listening.
Everybody
Even
listening.
like at a different time slot and everything.
Yeah. Can't shake them.
I know. But did we learn anything today?
Ready. I'm ready for the new year. You making? You gonna make some changes coming the new year? You got some resolutions you're gonna?
Changes?
Yeah.
Nah, it's the same old crap I need to get done anyway.
I think this is the first year I'm actually gonna.
You really?
I think so. I'm gonna actually write them down and try to stick with them.
Anything that comes to mind right now you want to share?
No, because you're gonna hold me accountable.
No, go ahead and say it.
No, I'm still working on them. Maybe I'll lose some more weight. No, when I try to lose weight, I can't lose weight. I'm one of them.
When
guys.
you don't try, though,
Yeah.
you do?
Yep.
That's interesting.
I just eat like Trash Panda, I seem to lose weight. I don't know.
Right. But no, I mean, it's for me the normal stuff. I want to get up and write. I want to write more.
Yeah.
Even when it's stuff I'm not putting out to the public. I definitely want to lose weight. Just eat better. Stop eating crap. Yeah, it's all stuff that it's not about New Year's though. In a new year, new me. It's just stuff I need to be doing.
No, but
anyhow,
when these times that come up, I usually, just like you and most people in the youth, it's just another day. But I think I'm going to take the opportunity to write down some resolutions, and actually stick with it. Be the first time I think I've done that in forever.
Wait, don't tell me you're going to start drinking matcha.
What's that?
I don't even know. It's some green drink.
No,
people swear by it.
No,
gut health.
Koreans used to drink that green tea, and no. That and instant coffee. Disgusting.
You going to more embrace your feminine side?
No. I just think I'm going to just make some changes, try to slow things down a little bit. Here lately, the world's been moving about 1,000 miles an hour, and I'm kind of getting old for that. That's one of the things I want to do.
Well, I think that's our show then.
All right, man. We'll see you, Mayana.
Yeah, tomorrow should be fun. We don't have much planned because it's, a weird time in the news cycle. And
is it New Year's yet?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Past Christmas? Where are we at?
We'll figure it out. We'll have some fun with it.
You bet.
Y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg and Rosie. They're next.